Amazing. Rocky, what is you?
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Sunset chill days so long gone. Can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, painted on the blue skies crowd. And yet somehow that way it's baked with eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice creams, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me. I'm sailing. I'm sailing. I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzle in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Direwolf's back and so are you.
Oh yeah,
Belvedere flying over the moon.
oh yeah.
And everyone's singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wonder Ken, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. Have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, it's all you know how to do.
You wake up blue to
Epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic. Epic.
Hear ye, come on, to the never stopping daily strife, and it's called simpler times, they beckon so, floating on the water with no phone. Can we get away now, find a way now, somehow step out of this stream into a dream of slow it down. Jay says that he remembers a place before the never, ever, ever river severed our tranquility. Counting cars by Highway 30, sitting in the porch swing, guessing colors so poorly. Yeah. Is the next one a blue or red one? Maybe silver, maybe gray. What a way to spend a day.
Ladies
and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! And ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. Jonas.
Am I on the wrong side?
No, you're just way higher than me. I don't like it.
Much taller than you now.
Did you? Can you lower it down a little, man?
I suppose I could. It's going to look
killing
weird,
me.
Yeah,
Killing me, dude. Honestly, not a way to start a show.
To me, here we go. Here we go.
That's better.
But now
okay, now your head's too large.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't. No, let's just. That's better.
Here we go.
What Jolly Green Giant again, Jonas? Hey, Jonas. Speaking of giants. Speaking of giants, Jonas, did you see this thing about Harambe?
I did. Harambe rides again. I guess he's
Harambe rides again. Harambe never rode anything. He's a gorilla.
No, I think I saw him riding on a unicorn in a meme. Maybe it was a Pegasus. If it's a unicorn with wings, is it still a Pegasus, or is that the name of a different creature?
It's a winged unicorn, of course.
Right.
And if it's Viva Pinata, it's a tunicorn. Look at this, folks. The White House is posting a tribute to Harambe. Today, we remember a legend. You know what? We got to click the button. We need the image. Today, we remember a legend. On this day in history, Harambe would have celebrated another birthday, an icon that became part of an internet history, American culture, and an entire generation's timeline. Well, I think we all voted for this, Jonas, honestly.
I think we did.
Obviously,
the thing that the White House doing memes, that's I don't want to say that's par for the course. It still is strange to see it on some level. It made me laugh. But the fact that Nintendo revealed that Donkey Kong 64 is coming to Nintendo Switch Online on the anniversary of, it's Harambe's birthday. That one made me go, huh. Somebody at Nintendo doesn't want to say that they know what's going on with that one, but then we get the Donkey Kong rap, the DK rap, there in the commercials on the day of Harambe's birthday.
Do you think they just stumbled into that, Jonas? Nintendo just stumbled into, hey, Harambe is going to be trending all over the internet because of the White House, and we just simultaneously accidentally released Donkey Kong 64. Like, how great is Nintendo's PR game if they just stumbled into that?
I'm going to say a company that has a dedicated social media team that has been on the internet for a very long time, just accidentally posting their gorilla game on Harambe's birthday. It's not even, I think the anniversary of his passing may have been today, but his birthday was yesterday. This is
his birthday.
Yeah, I don't know why we track the birthdays of assassinated gorillas, but
are we allowed to say that word now? Can we say did you just say the A word?
Yes, I did. I said it twice, but it's part of the word assassination, so I think it's fine.
Oh boy, I tell you. Okay, well, Jonas, the response to going on camera has been way more impressive than I ever thought that we'd get. So, folks, we want to say a thank you to everybody out there tuning in and watching what we're up to. We thought we would have some boo birds. We thought we'd have a few people who came on and said, Pro, you're just so darn ugly. Why don't you go back to the picture? Please hide your kids, hide your wife. Pro's up in here. But seems like everybody's excited about what we're doing. And folks, we can't say thank you enough for the positive reaction last night. I don't know this, Jonas, to be certain, but I would not be surprised if we were the highest revenue generating show on all of YouTube last night. I mean, it would not shock me.
I was impressed, and two, humbled by everyone.
Absolutely.
Coming together, and it was a very warm welcome for you. Although for me, I'm getting a lot of pointing memes with
what are you
the
talking
word
about?
"you're next" being sent to me. Shang Tsung.
People want to see your broad shoulders.
Well, yeah.
And I want you to shrink down to a normal human size rather than whatever this is that you have.
I would say that if I actually met Ewan McGregor, that everyone says that I look like here, or at least
it's just a slight resemblance. I'm going to get up to your height. Hang on.
I'm going to say I probably tower over that fella.
I bet you do. I bet you do. That's no lie. And we've been hanging out with friends, folks. You saw them last night. So many people joining us for that, and joining outside the studio in the lobby and that kind of thing. And some of our friends are not the stature that we would have expected, eh?
No, not at all. Some of them
we won't give it away, but some of our friends are both simultaneously. Some of them are huge, and some of them are well, not so huge. But Jonas, somebody who is huge, somebody who is a myth, a legend on the YouTubes. Shall we bring him in, Jonas?
Absolutely.
Our first guest of the day.
Man, I am excited to have this fella on the show today.
All right.
Who could that be? Let's go see, boys and girls.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Andre.
Greetings, everyone. And I'm going to do like pro and be on camera here. Greetings. Good to be here.
Greetings to you, Andre, of course, of Midnight's Edge, the trailblazer who made all this possible. Andre, we've said it before, we'll say it again. Without what you came up with on YouTube, this idea, this concept, none of the rest of us would be doing this so easily. And so we always want to say that you took the lead, you led the charge, and everybody in this space owes you greatly for it. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for the kind words. And it's my pleasure to be here, as always.
Now, Andre, do you have a beverage by any chance? Do you have a skull of mead? What do you have to drink today?
I do. Today, I have a caravel filled with real Norwegian furries.
Oh, well, welcome to the show, my friend. Jonas, what are you holding in your hand?
A Venti ice shaken espresso with ristretto.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I also have a shaken espresso. Let's go. It is time to click it and sip it. Here's what you do, folks. You click the like button and then join us. It's like an homage to Scott Adams with the simultaneous sip. We're going to do it together. Click it and sip it. Like button right now. Don't smash the beverage. It doesn't go well. And drinking whatever you have together in 3, 2, 1.
Delicious.
Now we're ready for a show, guys. Now we're ready.
You know what's the best nation in the world?
What's the best nation in the world?
Caffeination.
I get it. The best nation right now is the nation that's joining today to send the super chats our way. Jonas, before we start the first story, let's bring him up on the screen.
I mean, I have to start with this one because it's kind of unbelievable. Teddy D, already generous last evening, gifted 50 WDW Pro memberships here right at the start of the show. Amazing, Teddy D. And
there's a reason. There's a reason the man has the name he has. Hey, StreamYard, stop doing strange things.
And says, good day, beautiful people. Well, good day to you, Teddy D.
Good day, good day. It's a great day, we say, when we get to spend time with Fitty D. Jonas, put those memberships back up on the screen, please.
Yup.
Oh, here we go. It's time to party. It's time to live it up.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Is that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
What are those?
These are my Spider-Man pajamas.
Let me rephrase that. Why are you wearing those?
Because my He-Man pajamas are in the laundry.
But Jonas, that was not the end of the generosity.
It was not. It was not. Juliet, who is always very kind to mod for us, for £5 says, evening WDW Pro panel and Pro Rights. Let's have another show like last night's. Go Pro.
We loved the show last night. Folks, we're going to hit the news today. I promise you. Last night's show was like no other we've had before, and I don't know if we'll ever have one like it again. Go check it out. Yes, we switched to members exclusive, but we made it public again right thereafter. Go watch it, ladies and gentlemen. It was an amazing time, and we can never say thank you enough.
I could not believe how well that stream went. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships and says, for 10, good day all. You know, I had the weirdest dream. I had just come home from a concert and Pro was streaming and his face was visible and most of Culture's beard was gone. And wait, what?
You know, people have said, is Culture wearing a fake beard? And the real question is, was he ever not? Thank you, Flying Blind.
He was wearing a fake beard in front of his real beard, though, because he had one of Real Life Fake Wizard's fake beards with him. So the answer is yes, absolutely.
And you're sure of that?
No.
Okay.
Just a Dutchie gifted 20 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you very
Just
much.
a Dutchie. Thank you so much. Very, very kind and a great supporter of the channel and everything we're doing here. We could not do it without you.
We're playing in the green, green grass. Oh, tell me, how do we make it last? Under the sun, the blue stretches.
You're the one who's out of this world, sweet baby. You're the one who's out of this world.
Texas 84 member for 12 months says, it's my pro birthday. And
Hey!
gifts 5 WDW Pro memberships.
God dang it, Texas. This is the best day ever. Happy pro birthday. I tell you what.
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro channel, thank you.
Jonas, I'm looking for the happy birthday clip. Has it been moved? We've moved the happy birthday clip?
I'm not authorized to say. I don't know.
Found it!
Make a wish. Blow out your candles.
Found it!
Irate specialist for $2. I've given Wilton so many pro memes. So many. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. And I was caught off guard by one of them this morning. I didn't realize it wasn't actually you until it spoke and it used that generic AI voice. Araxis, though, gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Araxis. Good to see you out there and happy to have you aboard. Welcome again. And thank you, my friend, for the gifted memberships.
In the neon glow we rise, electric pulse it mesmerize.
And folks, if you received one of those gifted memberships, make sure to do the right thing. Say thank you. Say gracias to those who are being so nice to all of us.
Yep. And First Dragon Queen for $40. Wow. I just wanted to say thank you for everything. Yes, I'm always working on something because good people deserve things. I never charge. Culture will send you the blueprint for ProBot. My birthday is Saturday. Hugs for all.
Well, you know what? We'll play the full birthday clip for that one. And I understand there's something on my way. Culture has it, and it's supposed to be fully delivered in the next few days, Dragon Queen. So we'll see what we do. But thank you and happy birthday over the weekend to you.
Return the Dragon Queen.
Make a wish. Blow out your candles.
Now that's a birthday.
Yep. Joppy for 100 Swedish crowns. I sent an email to TPP since it was the only one I could find to explain yesterday. This morning for me, though, but I hope you'll read it and reply, even if it isn't the right place for it.
Joppy, we'll track it down, and don't worry anything. We love the conversation with you in the member exclusive time, and we're inclined to say, please come back if at all possible, Joppy. You're very, very intelligent, intellectual, and with wisdom to your words. We'd love to hear what you have to say even more down the road.
Mm-hmm. Mike Nair for 2. Harambe was spared post The Force Awakens Star Wars. # mercy kill. There you go. There's no top in that one. Archer Merchant for 5. Saw Mando for $8. It was okay, but the Hut felt the weakest part with English/basic. Also, AMC does 50% off tickets Tuesday, Wednesday, pleading for sales. Ooh, we're going to talk about this one for sure.
We are indeed, absolutely. And that drop-off to a Tuesday was no bueno. The reason, because Tuesdays for families, you know, that tends to be, for a family film, not a big drop-off because it's the budget night. So a lot of families with, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, they wait for the Tuesday. That didn't happen for this film. And that's why we're paying close attention now to what the drop-off might be for the second weekend. It could be horrendous.
I love this chat. Ryan Goddard for $2. Pro's phrase reveal is enough for me to even pre-order.
Sign me up.
Pew, pew, pew. Mags London for 9. So weird to see Pro move. LOL. Yeah, I got to say, the first time I met him in person, I was expecting him to be an orb. So
do little Trump dance, right?
Yep. Archer Merchant for 2. Also felt like they pushed for kid-friendly. Yeah. I think they tried to push for something that was the least offensive film as possible.
It's the most bizarre thing. So yes, it's a kid-friendly film, but I feel like they went back and did reshoots to get PG-13 because somebody in marketing said we got to get PG-13. And Favreau has even said this. We've not talked about this in a segment, but Favreau has said the order was to get PG-13. So they light a guy on fire in the first third of the movie, and how does that work for a kids movie for 7 to 10-year-olds? But so it's very bizarre. It's like they could not decide what to do. And that's because you've got Favreau making a kids movie. You get Disney marketing saying it's got to be PG-13 or nobody's going to come see it. And guess what? We got the worst of both worlds.
Do people actually check the ratings on movies before they go see them? Because I feel like this is something that Hollywood does. And Andre, maybe you can weigh in on this as well. I feel like the aiming for a specific rating has probably ruined a lot of movies.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a number of movies that were screwed by it. And the irony is that sometimes, and we see this especially when it's a movie that was first advertised as being rated R, and then they go back and they change it to PG-13, and then it does meddling at the box office, and then you see compatible movies with R ratings do as good or better. I think that sometimes, unless it's like Avatar level budget, you're probably better off just keeping the original rating. I mean, if you're aiming for a specific kind of rating, you have to shoot for that in the very first place, rather than trying to fix the movie for a rating after the fact, especially when you look at how arbitrary it can be in some cases.
The other strange thing about the movie is because they're not willing to curse in Star Wars movies almost ever, like it would be a strange thing. The only way to get to the PG-13 is either through romance or through violence. You can't have romance with no girls. Right. But they can't do that. No slave Leia, right? That's not allowed anymore. So what was the only way Favreau could get a PG-13? Hey, how about in the first 15 minutes we light somebody on fire Rambo style in a film that the rest of the way is going to be, watching the Boba Fricks or whatever they're called walk around like, Fraggle Rock puppets. Like, how does that go together? Right. Hey, kids, come watch Baby Grogu. He's going to do cute things and make oohs and ahs. And by the way, we'll also, dismember people. It's so strange. It kind of reminded me of Gremlins. This is the Star Wars Gremlins movie, but without any of the fun in it.
Well, yeah. I'll throw it in here. On the other side of this, there are several movies that I've seen that could have been PG, but they decided to just stop and have someone literally say the F word. There's a scene in Be Cool, which could be a PG movie, and they stop in that moment in the car and have John Travolta say, do you know how many F words you're allowed to say in a PG-13 movie? You can say one time. And that was purely marketing there. So they didn't have a PG Get Shorty follow-up here. Or La La Land, which has literally one F word in it. So
just for the purpose of, yeah.
Just for the purpose of, one, you ruin it for a general audience, and you will also want to try to say that, oh, it's a mature movie, and mature means that, I guess.
Jonas, we've got a lot to get to. 2 more super chats. We'll get the rest on the other side, folks. We never leave a super chat behind. We didn't do it yesterday. We didn't do it the day before, and we're certainly not going to do it this time. Hang with us. We're inclined to get back to them, but after 2, the next news item.
Yeah, Archer Merchant for $2. Even with $8 tickets, Mando was still half empty. Man, I believe you.
Ouch.
All those 13-year-olds were going to see back rooms. And Daniel Welcher became a member at the Pro Silver level.
Hi ho, and welcome aboard, Daniel. It's great to have you. All right, we're ready to dive in. And folks, we've got more panelists on the way. Don't go anywhere today. We're going to give you a tour of what's going down with Holly Weird. Just like we always do, we understand them better than they understand themselves. First story on the docket, folks. We're going to rock it. What's it about? Well, the fallout of the Mandalorian Grogu crushed at the box office, crushing the hopes and dreams of Lucasfilm and Disney. And that means it's time to slash some budgets. Did you think they would wait for another week or two to announce it? Not this time, and we're going to cover it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, there is Star Wars fallout about after the collapse of the Mandalorian and Grogu at the box office. What are we talking about? We're talking about Ahsoka now being announced as having its budget slashed. We go to Collider to find out the story. It says Star Wars finally fixes its biggest Disney Plus problem with its next spin-off series. Michael Hine, the writer here, says over the last 2 decades, Star Wars fans have been watching Ahsoka Tano learn to balance her emotions and her mastery of the Force. Now she is poised to balance the franchise's biggest problem. Andre, did you know the biggest problem for Star Wars is not, in fact, the sequel trilogy? It's not the fans being angry. Andre, the biggest problem Star Wars has is its budget.
Yeah. Well, the beauty with the biggest franchise or the biggest problem with franchise is that it changes depending on whatever the article the establishment media is writing this week needs it to be. So it's very fluid, this big problem. I have one question, though. This is the first time I hear of the story. Is this like soft announced, as in it got way through, like we learned of it from some inside source or from physical paper, or hard announced, as in they put out a press release saying we are now cutting the budgets? Like, I would imagine that this is something that's either behind the scene leaks or some financial papers or something like that.
Right.
Like,
Definitely not Disney coming out with a press release. They would not do so. They don't admit defeat. But,
no, not announced then. Yeah.
Let's all read together. It says Ahsoka Season 2 reportedly cost Disney significantly less to film than other recent Star Wars projects, which could hint at a more sustainable future for the galaxy far, far away. Disney Plus has done its best to capitalize on Star Wars and other big media properties. The cost of all that CGI is definitely adding up. Hopefully, Ahsoka Season 2 can lead the way to more modest budgets with the same storytelling fans have come to hope for. This article goes on to talk about the reason that if Ahsoka performs poorly is, well, it's okay because it's not going to cost them any money. Apparently, this is a frugal series on Disney+. Jonas, there's just one problem, even as they're now preaching and screeching to us that, hey, we're not spending any money. Mando was cheap. This is cheap. Star Wars is cheap. Jonas, it can't be cheap, and the reason is, we believe they're going into reshoots for Ahsoka. That's the latest, is they've got a significant delay, like a 6-month delay. And Hayden Christensen apparently is getting more screen time with this and maybe another project. So at the same time, they're telling us, Jonas, that, no, don't worry about the dollar sign. Star Wars can function as a smaller franchise. It doesn't look that way from the other side.
Yeah.
Jonas, I see the bars, but I don't hear your voice.
Sorry, wrong button. It's just so odd to me because the words that are being used to describe Star Wars, whether it's by Variety or what this is probably something that has been leaked to Collider, and Collider is glad to print whatever Lucasfilm sends them. The word efficient was used to describe Mandalorian and Grogu in the reviews. It's obviously not the same kind of conversation, but who doesn't love a good efficient movie? With Ahsoka, for them to talk about the budgets and that being an issue, and I remember being on Midnight's Edge the morning after the episode where Ahsoka was doing backflips in space while dodging
in space
a starfighter. This is the kind of thing that works fine in animation, which is probably the appropriate amount of budget for a Dave Filoni Star Wars project. However much they would pay the Korean animators to make it. When things like this come out, and it's not the first time something like this has come out, this is a framing that I think only would appeal to Wall Street. Because if you say the budget is being raised, okay, that communicates to the fans that you have more that you want to do. When you say the budget is lower than it's ever been, that's a very different kind of messaging to get out there. I also remember with Loki season 2, there was an expose, not an expose, but there was a feature done in Variety where whoever the producer was on that scene, they wanted it out there that Loki season 2 was the lowest budgeted and lowest production cost MCU series to date at that point. That who is the benefit of that message? And it's only shareholders at that point.
Can I add one thing to that real quick?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
It's because the ones who ultimately do benefit, of course, the shareholders, they are the intended recipients of the message, but they're not the beneficiaries, not really. The ones who are the beneficiaries are the executives who aren't fired by the shareholders. That's why this stuff is being put out there. It's to put out the flames and the murmurs that they know the shareholders surely must be feeling.
I hadn't thought about that. The self-preservation that's probably going on there at
self-preservation.
Lucasfilm. Mm-hmm.
Well, what if I told you guys, in terms of self-preservation, Andre, I think you're exactly right. And that's because I smell a rat. I smell a mouse, ladies and gentlemen, and I think you're going to smell it too. Pay attention closely, because when the media begins to say the same thing, well, you all know what's happening, right?
Talking points.
So we're just after the first weekend of Mando. We're going in the second weekend of Mando, where we may see it fall to number 2. In fact, I don't see any other way than it falling to number 2, and badly. So the talking point that Disney's putting out days after we find out Mandalorian is dazed and confused and dropping at the box office. Let's read the title one more time for Collider. Folks, I know you remember it, but for the journalists out there, the drive-bys who have the memory of a goldfish, this is for you as you get ready to write your articles. Star Wars finally fixes its biggest Disney Plus problem with its next spin-off series. Jonas, can you remember that for me from Collider?
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, the biggest problem is that it's boring, but I'll go with the budget one too.
Okay, here we go. Geek Tyrant. 2 hours ago.
Whoa.
Ahsoka Season 2 might fix one of Lucasfilm's big Star Wars budget problem.
I'm reminded of Al Gore having such gravitas back in the 90s.
I also want to congratulate them on the grammar here. Ahsoka Season 2 might fix one of Lucasfilm's big Star Wars budget problem. It's a good effort, okay? We just got to say kudos on the effort. Maybe not so great on the execution. All right? Jonas, can you remember that title for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Comicbook.com. Chris Agar. Ahsoka Season 2 officially fixes one major Star Wars problem. I'm starting to see a pattern here, boys.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see a pattern.
And no one is going with a different angle. You know, when websites cover a story from another website, generally they're trying to come with a new perspective, so there's added value for the audience, maybe some analysis. But when it's the exact same headline, you might as well just read the first article. That's cool. That's creepy. That's like our democracy is in danger kind of rhetoric.
Hey, all I can say is, I'm feeling pretty good about myself about figuring this thing out. I think the talking point is there. I think they want people to hear that Mando is cheap, Ahsoka is cheap, it's not costing them anything. And by the way, we know the budget essentially for Ahsoka. We pretty much know this. Ahsoka season 1, $100 million for the full eight episodes. That's pretty darn cheap. $12 million per episode, thereabouts. If they're really going to drop it down, even with reshoots, is it 90 million? Is it 96 million? And we're 3-4 years removed from the first season. So the idea that you managed to beat the inflation sounds to me like Disney is cutting Filoni deep down to the marrow and saying, Lucasfilm, we're not wasting this money anymore. That's the way I read it, and I think they want people to know that. I think they're trying to change the narrative now. Like, Andre, it's fine when they're trying to save it, but when they're ready to pull the ripcord, maybe the goal here is to say, hey, we need to get this narrative out now that things are not great. So how do we do that? How do we forecast that things are going to change so that our shills aren't left out, frozen in the tundra of, the narrative changed and we didn't know it?
I think I have a slightly different take on it.
Please.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, and fundamentally it's the same thing, but really what I think they're doing here is that they are sending, first off, they're going to have private meetings with their really, really big shareholders, right? And what are they going to tell them? They're going to say, fine, things are bad, but Kennedy she's gone. Now we adults, we're back in control of the room. We have this sorted. We are taking the necessary steps. Everything is under control. It's going to take a few years before things turn around, but it's all under control. You just watch in the media and what it says. And what then does all the media say? They just solved one of their biggest problems, the spending.
Right.
See there? It's control narrative. This is something that's been put out there for the benefit of not just your random small shareholders, but the really, really big ones, so that they go online and they have it fed right back to them. Okay, fine. They have it under control. All the papers are saying it, that they just solved one of their biggest problems. Please don't look any further. And with some of these financial types, they don't understand the details of the franchise or anything like that. All they see is, okay, fine. It's not too expensive. The franchise is in a repair mode right now. We know this. They've acknowledged this. And here is now they're cutting budgets and spending. This is a sign of having control, which goes back to this is about self-preservation. This is about buying themselves more time. This is about projecting confidence to shareholders, letting them know that, yeah, this is repair mode. Things weren't great. Can't change that. We can move forward. We can cut costs. We are in control. That's the message here.
I think you're exactly right. I think prescient as always. This is why people need to go subscribe and tune in to Midnight's Edge. Folks, if you've left the show at any point, the return is now. Do so. Jonas, I'll give you the final word, though, on this. And I find it interesting that they apparently are bringing in Christian Haydenson. They're going to Hayden Christensen. I'm sorry, Hayden Christensen.
I can tell you why they do that.
Right, and they're going to get Vader Darth. Vader Darth is on the way back too, folks. You get that joke in a minute. It's not funny at all. Andre, you said you know why they're doing that.
Yeah, well, to me, it's obvious. I mean, they're saying, yeah, we're going back to the core. This is what people always responded to. This whole sequel era, the Kathleen Kennedy, was all a mistake. Now we're going back and look, we just gave Hayden Christensen this massive contract. We're now even changing Ahsoka season 2 to give him a bigger role. And I'm sure they did that. I am sure that they have changed what was the original plan. They had to do that in the aftermath of Ray Stevenson dying, even though they recast him. But now they know what's going on. They know what worked and what didn't. Dave Filoni, of course, he was very big part of the problem, but he's still there. He can now try to pretend it was all Kathleen Kennedy and claim to be part of the fix when he was part of the problem. Hey, that's the Hollywood way now, isn't it?
That's the way.
And then, this is the way. And then they're trying to fix it, and then it just remains to be seen if it's going to work out for them. But at least they're trying. And that is what they're signaling to everyone. We are in control. That's the message. And I guarantee you, all of the financial types, all of the shareholders that actually matter, the ones that could fire the new male CEO, get rid of him and get Dana Walden instead, get rid of D'Amato, I mean, if he doesn't deliver, then yeah, this is what's going on. This is a projection of strength and confidence. Now, it could all be bullshit, but hey, that's what they're trying to project.
Yep.
That's what this is about. This is not admitting we made a mistake. No, it's saying they made a mistake. The previous people, they messed up.
Right.
We're here now, and we're fixing it.
And there's very few people at the Disney company that are capable of making a public statement that is just clearly in that direction. Bob Iger essentially did that with Bob Chapek, and he had the political clout to do that. There's no one at the company right now that can say something like that boldly and openly.
This is the closest thing you are going to get, because to most people who either are not directly or indirectly connected to the board meetings, or that do not have experience reading fiscal papers and stuff like that, they're not going to see what it actually says. But this is a projection of confidence.
Totally agree, Andre. I think you're on the money. It's just too bad Lucasfilm is trying to find some way to get more money and cut it at the same time. This is not where they thought they would be, but boy, after that first weekend for Mando, how low can it go? Into hurt you levels for Lucasfilm. Jonas J. Campbell, it's a great day to see what the superstars have to say, and the superstars of this show are everybody out there tuning in, about 1,200 of you right now, and we are thankful for each and every one. Jonas, what do we got?
I'm Joppy here first thing. 200 pounds. Oh, right. And I rechecked, and it's Ice 9 Kills Jonathan Acoustic The music video that your friend needs to see. It's amazing homage to the singer's best childhood friend who later passed away.
Phenomenal. I will pass it along. Thank you, Joppy.
I love musical recommendation. It's a great window into. I tried to get everyone to listen to hip hop yesterday. I guess I guess I'm the only one who.
You are the hip hop hoppiest around.
Exactly, like a rabbit. Tender Warrior gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Jonas Cottontail, for letting us know that Tender Warrior has gifted these. And Tender Warrior, you're the best of us, indeed.
Jonas Cottontail. Irate Specialist for $5. Jonas, was it the Prokini model meme? I want to apologize for that. It gave me nightmares. Probably shouldn't have shared that one. I'm torn between telling you that I've seen it so that you won't send it and admitting that I have not seen it, guaranteeing that you send it. The Jim Reaper member for 18. I was still hoping for the Doom mask.
Maybe one day.
Bad Hombre Berkey for 5. Fellas, off to PT for my shoulder. Gotta go, but my 3rd week of storytelling at the Columbia Falls Community Market. It's been fun. Wish you well. Good luck on physical therapy. If you go in there with the doctor mentality that, oh, I come in and you treat me, that's not how it works in physical therapy. In physical therapy, you have to do the work. So good luck to you. And
keep going and doing such a great job at the Columbia Falls Community Market. I know that people are being edified listening to your stories, and what a great thing to share.
Yeah. Chris Dickerson, member for 13. Day 2 Pro still has only one head. So
I haven't shown my back, ladies and gentlemen, and you never know what might be hidden. There could be some sort of vestigial twin just hanging on back there. Oh wait, no, we did show. It was Wilton. He's hiding behind the chair.
The family of Jays became a YouTube member. Let's see if it tells me here. It's not telling me, but thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel.
Thank you.
Yep. And let's see here. Araxis coming back again for $5. Still really impressed with your AI VR avatar overlay. Please recommend it to Jonas. Hi, Jonas. Hi, Andre. Hi, upcoming panelists. Hi, DB Martin, Juliet. Yeah, we got D-Bud Martin here with us today. He's always going to be a mod on this channel as far as I'm concerned, and we get him in live modding today. So good to see you, DB.
That's right. I'm telling you. Yeah. Some of our friends go way back, and D-Bud is one of those. We love seeing D-Bud out there.
Yep. Packing Protons for $2. Still calling it for a 65 to 70% drop off.
Well, that's better than Steve last night. I called it at 54. I've got to change my prediction, but that's cheating. So I have to stay with it, right? I have to stay with the prediction, even if it's wrong. But I didn't have the Tuesday numbers when I made the prediction. Now that I got the Tuesday numbers, I predicted 54% drop from first weekend to second weekend.
That would be a massive win for the movie and for Disney if it's as little as 54.
After Tuesday, I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
I would actually say anything less than 65% is a win.
Well, I think if that's the case, I think they'll get a win. I think anywhere 58 to 62 is where my gut tells me this goes.
Yeah.
Only because the major competition that's going to knock it out of number 1 is not a film that kids can see. That's the only reason. But as soon as He-Man lands, and He-Man lands in less than a week, right? Yeah, Thursday. Okay, so yeah. So He-Man's going to land, and it's over. It's over. It's like whatever they got at the box office is done.
It's also Scary Movie, and I think that Scary Movie is going to outdo He-Man. Like, it's a good thing that Amazon is the ones behind He-Man because they can just write off any losses, and it doesn't matter anything. They even may find other ways of making money on it down the line, but unless there's a massive spike in interest in the last 2 weeks here prior to its release, I think that movie is in trouble by any conventional metric.
But the thing is, Andre, so let's say it comes out and makes 35 million. You might be right, and that's really bad. Okay, yeah. We can all agree that's
by
bad.
Conventional metrics, it would be very bad. The one thing that throws it off, it's Amazon. That throws everything off.
But here's the Star Wars problem. The Star Wars problem is that even if it makes $35 million, it's going to take all the premium screens, all of them, all the IMAX, it's gone. And Mando suddenly goes from being an $18 per ticket on average film to an $8, right? Being seen in the back rooms in multiplexes. That's where the hurt comes from.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we are seeing indications that Backrooms is getting more PLFs. So
well played. Good segue.
Yep. Packing protons for 5. So now that Bob is gone and things suddenly get cheaper, was he siphoning money? I think not directly. The things that Bob Iger has made money from the company are clearly stated on the financial statements, like the $100 million that he got for forcing the Fox deal through, whether or not that was a good idea, or the way the stock price has dropped, and still he's gotten performance-based incentives that are unbelievable, despite that stock not performing well. It's almost as if they were padding the numbers for him a little bit there. I'm saying padding the metrics by which he would receive the benefits. So he takes money in different ways. So
I agree with that.
Here's the deal, right? It's Jonas is exactly right. This is a semantic thing. Did Bob Iger break the rules? Did he do something that he's going to go to jail for? Anything like that? Almost certainly not. He's got a team of lawyers that surround him. Do we want to call what the FCC is now investigating, where Bob Iger set up a system, and they declared this, where if the company hired enough minorities or enough women or enough people who have a particular persuasion in the bedroom, if the company hired enough of those people, then pale, stale, likes the women quite well, Bob Iger got paid more. Is that siphoning? And is that something Bob Iger can get in trouble for? You know?
Honestly,
a team of lawyers.
I mean, he probably isn't, but honestly, I do believe that is something he should be called into Senate hearings for.
Listen, we love Bob Iger congressional hearings. We here on the channel, we have a predisposition to say, dear congressional leaders, if you'd like to call in Bob Iger, that is wonderful content for us. While you're at it, Rachel Zegler, she's wonderful. You need to get her on a committee ASAP. Please, somebody.
And as always, free chicken. Packing protons for $5. Finally, face reveals are kind of like unboxing videos. Interesting, but you are not sure why.
It's the curiosity. It's the mystery, right? Yeah. Is he, in fact, a giant 800-pound, 70-year-old man with 3 nostrils?
I was going to go with gorilla since we're on Harambe, but irate specialist for 2. Pro, check your X post about this show. Lol. Irate's having a good day, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought we made a mistake with the post. Okay, I got it. I see.
Mike Nair for 5. Waiting for the day a live action Star Wars show gets canceled, only to get an animated sequel series to fill a narrative gap other projects rely on. Has this happened yet? I'm trying to think. They've done Tales of the Jedi and they've done Tales of the Underworld. Are those unofficial sequels? With this anthology style stuff that they're putting on Disney Plus, maybe they kind of have done that.
We have a Darth Maul series going on right now. Yes, is that in any way a follow-up to Solo, which teased Darth Maul and then never delivered on it? I haven't seen the Darth Maul series. I never will see it. But is there some kind of connection there? I mean, does it continuity-wise take place before or after Solo? If it takes place after, which I don't know that it does, but if it does, this could be an example of just that.
Leandro, these are the kinds of questions where we need Lorne, because he can tell us exactly in the timeline what year it is, what month, what day, and then,
Exactly.
Yep.
We need you, Lorne.
Yep. Butterbiscuit 92, member for 29 months. Wow. You missed me last night unless Jonas read it real fast. No biggie, but glad the face thing is over. Listening to you was like listening to LeBron hype his decision mess. Stop being funny quick. You are handsome, though.
Hey, I try. You're a handsome man as well, Butterbiscuit, we believe. But Jonas, we did get the Butterbiscuit super chat, unless there was more than one. We did get the Butterbiscuit chat up on the screen. I remember it.
We got your little jab in there, Butterbiscuit. It's all right.
Damn.
Yep. And Evil Ned for 5. Now that we have confirmation that Jonas is Valiant Renegade, what tips do you have for the stock market? No financial advice ever, on this channel.
Is there hidden crypto in any corporations you can name right now? Valiant Renegade.
No, I'm the only market I would recommend you invest in is the stock market in Animal Crossing.
Video game humor. I don't get it. All right, folks, we get it though when it comes to Hollyweird. Get ready because moving on from The Mandalorian, wouldn't you know it? There's somebody out there who claims her odd, strange, weird behavior is, well, it's actually hatred for her skin color.
Weird.
Okay, not her. That's not the one. I know you all expected it, right? But no.
That half Polish girl?
We'll see. Story right now. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Out of thatparkplace.com, Cynthia Erivo is now blaming, quote, the insidious nature of how we view black women for the wicked backlash. Marvin Montanaro, I didn't know that there was a backlash, by the way. I just thought that there was apathy. I just thought people didn't go see the second one, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Cynthia Erivo, some say Erivo, but it's Erivo, is once again putting herself at the center of controversy after a sprawling new interview with Variety, in which the Wicked star blamed backlash surrounding the film and viral online jokes on what she called the insidious nature of how we view black women. The interview, which was positioned Erivo as emotionally overwhelmed by the pressure and scrutiny surrounding Wicked and Wicked for Good, quickly drew criticism online for its highly self-serious tone and repeated attempts to frame internet mockery and fan reactions through broader social and racial commentary. Discussing memes that portrayed her as Ariana Grande's bodyguard, after Erivo intervened during a chaotic premiere moment in Singapore, Erivo suggested the reaction reflected deeper societal biases. Quote, I think that we haven't really come to terms with the insidious nature of how we view black women, Erivo told Variety. Now, folks, maybe I could see this if it was not for the fact this woman is so strange. So that you have a remembrance of where we've been and where we're going with Erivo. Here are some of the highlights of she from CPTC over on X. Here is how she reacted to a helicopter flying overhead somewhere with Ariana Grande.
Me.
Not the time, helicopter!
Yes, that's our reaction too. And if you need more, guess what? Natalie at Ghibli Natalie has this one. It's a montage, and we love montages, whether it's a sports movie or Cynthia Erivo. We love a good montage. We'll turn the audio off and just let it play because we got lots to say about this. But just enjoy in the background. Andre, this is one of the worst attempts to fix this because it doesn't matter what your skin color was. It doesn't matter which restroom you go to. Everybody thought that Cynthia Erivo was bizarre. In fact, even otherworldly bizarre. And I have a theory on this, Andre. You tell me what you think. I think that she was attracted or is attracted to Ariana Grande in ways that might not be healthy.
Well, I think that Ariana Grande was mighty weird as well. I think the two of them were a particularly toxic cocktail. Yeah, I think it's like really, really... How do I put this? That's not going to get everyone shut down.
Don't end the channel, Andre. Yeah. We're trying hard here, but we got to cover...
Yeah,
what do we say?
I know the feeling. I know.
Bunch of white dudes here waiting on Cynthia Erivo. What are we doing?
Basically, I was like, what I'm thinking is, if she wants to talk about how the backlash when you see footage like this, and she says, no, it's like we all, as a society, we have unrealistic views, stereotypical views of black women, then you have to look, when you are in Cynthia Erivo's position, and then you kind of like make yourself an ambassador of black women, then maybe don't do stuff like this. Then maybe act normal.
Yeah. It's a funny thing when someone tries to say what all of society thinks about something. without basing that in fact. It just sounds like that's their opinion, and they're saying it for the entire world to hear, and assuming that everyone thinks like they do.
And also, I would like to point out that there's plenty black women in the media all the time that you just do not have this kind of commotion, because they're just normal, ordinary people, and they are not the ones that talk about black women this, black women that stereotype. Why is it always the ones that further stereotypes that complain about stereotypes?
Right. Well, I'll tell you, I always approach some of the celebrities as if they are businesses, not people. And maybe that's wrong of me, right? Maybe that's the incorrect way to do this. But I kind of see this as a strategic move. So if the marketing for Wicked was a complete and total disaster, and it was, and if the studios have realized the amount of money that Cynthia and Ariana cost them, and they probably have, then that is no longer a strategy that she can cling to. And you have to make the pivot. You have to. So how do you defend your career if you're worth what you believe to be millions and millions and millions of dollars, and the future movies are not coming to you any longer? That's all gone. How do you handle the fact that your publicist and your stylist and all these people who are, they're hangers on, they're part of this entourage that you have, and their livelihoods and their families depend on it? What do you do to protect them? And the thing that you protect as a business, because these people are essentially walking, talking businesses, what do you do? This is the ultimate defense for her. She can come out and say, oh, those people who didn't come see me, and I don't want to say you're like this next studio, they're actually not angry because I acted like a complete and utter weirdo with Ariana Grande. They're mad because I'm a black woman. And then that is the way, perhaps, that she can gain some empathy with some of these studios to say, let me back in the door. Give me another chance. I was steamrolled by the bigots, by the Rosses, and you don't want to be like them, right? You don't want to be like them,
right? She's asking them to hold her space for her,
right? The problem here, and she wouldn't be having these kinds of interviews. She wouldn't be saying these kinds of things if she had made money with the final Wicked. But the final Wicked came in hundreds of millions of dollars under, and it was proof positive that this marketing concept that she came up with, her and Ariana, I don't think Ariana is this person. I don't know what that person is, but I don't think Ariana, because she's never acted this way before. But whatever that shtick is they had did not work. I mean, it was bug spray to audiences. Nobody wanted to go to whatever these two were in. And now I think her career is in a tailspin. Ariana, not so much, because Ariana can chameleon her way to the next thing. But Andre, I'll give you the final word on this topic. When it comes to what we're seeing with some of these woke celebrities, and I think, she's definitely at the top of the spear when it comes to that. Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, we can go through the list. You got Robert De Niro. They're becoming the kinds of people that people don't want to go see. And I think Cynthia is now in that category. I think they're all going to have to start recategorizing themselves and why they're unpopular in a way that explains away how it is that they saw a defeat at the box office, why nobody wants to see them.
I wouldn't quite put Cynthia Erivo in the same category as those others, though, because De Niro and Mark Ruffalo, that's one thing, because they're hyper political and they're hyper partisan, and they used to be in blockbuster movies. And now they can't certainly get fewer roles in non-blockbusters even. And in terms of De Niro, no one wants him. Ruffalo, he has the Hulk because he has to have it. But beyond that, I think he's starting to feel the pinch in his career either way, though. As for Arivia, I honestly do not think that she feels the pinch the same way that the others do. This is why. Because Ruffalo, De Niro, big budget movie stars. Cynthia Erivo, musicals, live plays. That's where she's coming from. And maybe all the weird stuff she's doing right here, probably that plays to her home audience. Like, I'm just speculating now, but I saw like in the chat, how is she not cast as Nosferatu? You know what she is cast as? In a one-woman show? Dracula. She's doing a Dracula one-way show in London right now.
I think it got cut short, by the way.
Yeah, so this has not affected her career. Now, what has happened is that she's probably not going to be invited back to many more big screen movies. But for where she came from, I think she's going to have plenty of offers. She's still respected in that particular scene, and she now has much more star power to boost that. So she's completely different. If anything, she has benefited from this. Now, it may not look like that if we're comparing to like blockbuster talent and we're thinking she should have been a blockbuster star, but she wasn't. This was a fluke. This was a vacation from the live stage. She's going back to the live stage now, and she's going back bigger than she was.
You know, that kind of parallels, though, Rachel Zegler, and thank you for covering while I had a slight internet stutter, very rare. But Rachel Zegler also had to go to live, right? She had to go to England to do, what did she do, Jonas? What was the...
Evita.
Evita, yep. That's right, the Argentinian.
And now that's being moved to Broadway, as I understand it.
Yeah.
So I think that may be where these actresses go who just can't get it together. Yeah. I think that might be the only opportunity for them.
But there's a very big difference, though, because Zegler started out in movies, and then she did that when she couldn't get movies anymore.
Yep.
Whereas Miss Dracula, she didn't start out in movies. She started out on the stage. That was what she wanted. That was her first home.
Right.
That is where she has her network and everything. That's a big difference there.
She's headed back to her natural habitat, you say.
Yes,
right. She has to sleep in ground from her native country.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to get out of here. We're so close to getting in trouble. We're out. We're out. And without a doubt, folks, the show just got better because Tom Connors is here. Tom, welcome aboard, buddy.
Where? That SOB owes me money.
Look at you down there, Tom. We love you. Welcome
Who's
aboard.
the Jewish guy?
I don't know. You Jewish guy. No, that's the wrong accent. Jonas! One thing that's not wrong is the super chats. They feel so right. Let's put them up on the screen, sir.
Chris Dickerson for $2. Jonas Renegade, show us your vixens. Maybe if I go to the Mardi Gras parade.
We're not allowed to do that on the pro show. That's what I'm told.
Eclipse Warlord member for 37. Hail, why did you choose Two-Face reveal?
In the age of AI, the premium thing that's going to be over the next many years, maybe forever, will be authenticity. So at a time when AI can replicate voices, doing so with a still image is not hard at all. And we'd reach the point where we were going to be perceived as an AI channel, perhaps, if I didn't go on camera. And so then it wasn't good enough to be a VTuber. It wasn't good enough to have a background that's made with a green screen. Everything needs to be authentic in this age. And so even down to what we're doing with the lava lamp or the neon sign, everything is designed to prove to everybody watching, this is a real guy. These are real opinions. This is not something that's being produced synthetically. And so that's what we're doing here. And also, I think you're going to see a great struggle on YouTube for channels that don't go on camera. And I'm not telling people they have to or they should. I will miss the degree of anonymity that I had. But we're at a time now where if we're going to keep doing this, it needed to be on camera.
Yep. Plus, he lost a bet.
I told Andre the same thing, but yeah.
Bad News Badger for 50 Danish crowns. I may be an hour late to the show, but man, are you glad I made it. Very true.
We're always glad you made it.
Yep. And then gives 5 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you very much, Bad News Badger.
See that guy. It's not bad news anytime. Hey, Tom, it's gonna dump you out. We'll bring you right back. 3, 2, 1. Let's get Tom. See, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Bad News Badger. This clip is for you. If we can find it, if we can play it. Bad News Badger. By the way, another genre, guys, will be coming out tomorrow for members of the channel to enjoy. So looking forward to get that to you.
Yep. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for $5. You know, if they make Cynthia Erivo the subject of the new X-Files reboot, I may give it a chance.
The truth is out there.
I hear they're putting an R-rated cut of X-Files on Disney Plus, by the way.
You notice we were very careful to not talk about the appearance of Cynthia, but rather maintain that segment to her behaviors. We understand the game they play. We're not giving them any opportunity, although they'll screw up still.
She never drinks wine.
No, she does not. Keep the garlic away.
Guys, those movies are so good. Cannibal the Dragon, member for 6. Hello, how big of a drop for Mando this weekend?
That's a very good question. In fact, I was just talking to Andre about that this morning, wasn't I?
Yeah, we were speaking about this a couple of minutes ago here as well.
Yeah. All right, let's do predictions then. Let's see where we land. Andre, what percentage we're going to... Don't give us a range, just let's see who gets closest. What do you say?
66.
Tom?
I'm going to do the whole not Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right game, 67 and 1 cent, Bob.
Jonas?
I've blissfully not been paying attention, so I'm going to say a 70% drop.
I think
I'm going to be the oddball. I'm going to say 61.
Okay, you're giving it a little bit of leeway.
I could be really wrong. I could regret that.
Who's this guy who keeps talking and sounds like Pro?
Yeah. And as I said before, I maintain that in light of the reality of where the Star Wars franchise is right now, you cannot compare to what it should be doing in an ideal situation. You have to look at the reality of where it is. If it drops less than 65, that's a win for Disney.
Folks, we're going to
if you win or if you come closer, it's a win for them.
Folks, we're going to cover up Jonas with a poll right now. How much does the Mando drop in the second weekend? You all tell us. Type in the chat if you're on YouTube. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is 50%. 2 is 60%. 3 is 70%. 4 is an 80% drop. You tell us. Jonas, what are you doing back there?
What are you saying?
Hang on a second.
He's hiding, but wait.
Oh, good grief.
That's fine.
Fine. You want? Okay. Yeah, you're still peeking out, Tom. You're peeking out.
What?
Yeah, hi.
Who's doing a bit?
Hi. It's me.
I'm behind the wall. The thing.
Yep. No. Wild Man of Yavin, member for 30. Pro, I will use my monthly free chat to say, I like the cut of your jib. You even got the sunglasses. Pro can't believe there's no aquarium. Cool sign, though.
I'll tell you, I told a woman once that I liked the cut of her jib, and she was not appreciative. She also didn't know what a jib was.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is it a saw?
I think it's a sail on a sailboat, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about the saw thing.
Black Jonas for $2. Jonas really has Hollywood Pegadidleone.
Pegadidleone.
This was explained to me after the show last night. I now realize the joke that I made.
How many times did you say that, Jonas? How many times did you talk about Peggle?
Yeah, about Hollywood. Yeah, we got Hollywood pegged. I'll say that.
You're going to get sued. Peggle sue.
Yep.
Sue, amaze.
Oops.
What?
You can cover me instead of covering up Tom.
No, I was doing a bit. Keep it there.
Yeah. We like it over here, Ghost Jonas. Keep going.
That's the end of the super chats for now. Unless we just want Chad Lynch saying 70%.
70%. All right. Well, Jonas, I tell you what, we've got a fantastic new panelist who's going to join us for the next segment. Jonas, would you mind to be the guy while I set up the next segment to bring him in?
Yeah, sure. First of all, this is a man who has been in the trenches in Hollywood. He is one of the rare voices of truth in the critic sphere, and we love to have him on the show every time he is here. Please welcome Christian Toto from the
Hey!
Toto podcast.
I know that guy.
What a kind intro. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here, guys.
Welcome aboard, Christian. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Christian, let's get your weigh in on this. The Mandalorian and Grogu really disappointed, coming in under $100 million on the domestic opening weekend. That's a 4-day. And the Tuesday is what has me concerned for the film, because typically Tuesdays are strong for family films simply because that's when families can afford to go. The Tuesdays are the budget. And we got a 60% drop from an already unimpressive Monday to Tuesday. So, Christian, where do you see this going forward? It's almost certain now it's going to be the number 2 film in its second weekend, beaten by a YouTuber.
There's so much amazing things happening in Hollywood now. It's hard to even know where to begin. I do think that second weekend is huge for this movie. I mean, as far as huge in importance, and the fact that it's going to underperform is going to tell a lot. Listen, the first weekend, you get the fans who are blinkered and they just want to love it. And God bless them. I appreciate that. It reminded me a little bit of the Phantom Menace when we all dutifully lined up to see it and couldn't admit how bad it was. So I think you might have some of that here. But I just think that the energy right now in movies is with these sort of either video game adaptations or these horror films. I mean, I can't even process the numbers behind Backrooms, which I've seen, and which is an art house horror film. And every time I look at the numbers, it keeps going up and up. So it's, I feel like I don't even know what to say anymore. But yeah, I mean, the bottom line is that they had to get some kind of Star Wars product out there. They shoved this into the marketplace. It's such a mediocrity, and I'm being kind. And it's the kind of thing that's really going to hurt the brand more than it helps anything, I think.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think it's a net damage for the brand? They thought they had to get something out there. I think they would have been better off leaving it off the silver screen at this point. This has really, we've talked about how badly it's performing on Disney Plus, but that's hideable compared to this. This is now out there for the normies to see.
Well, I mean, I think they literally have the answer right in front of them. They are going to release the original Star Wars. Isn't that coming
the
soon?
77 cut. Yeah.
That's what you do. You build the nostalgia and the energy and the excitement around that. And then maybe you expand the canvas a bit and talk about what you're working on. What I found the craziest part of The Mandalorian Grogu was it was insulting. It was so dumb, so poorly written, so poorly assembled, so innocuous, so meaningless. I mean, it's like they took this massive beloved franchise and said, bleep you. We're just going to put content out. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've seen. It's busy. It's colorful.
It's meh. It's just meh.
I still feel like everybody's being a lot harder on it than they should be. I think they're taking out their aggression on what happened to Star Wars on this film right now. And I don't mean necessarily at the box office, but I mean just fans in general are.
Well, let me see if everybody agrees with this. And we're going to end the poll now. 70% say that it's going to drop. Oh, excuse me. The majority of you say it'll drop 70%, which I think.
I guess I voiced the popular opinion there.
You must have. I don't. Boy, that would be just incredible if it happens. I won't say it won't. But try this on and let's see if we can come to a consensus. I think that it is better than season 3, which is just awful. But I don't think it's as good as season 1 or 2.
Season 3 would have been a bad season of the Clone Wars.
Right. If you return to the theater after 7 years and you have a movie that's not as good as the first 2 seasons, why did we make a movie?
I have no idea. I enjoyed the first 2 seasons, and I thought that was quality storytelling. Maybe my expectations were lowered because it was on the small screen, but it actually, I remember watching it and thinking, oh gosh, I don't even know what it means to feel like a Star Wars property, but this felt like it. It had some of that same magic to me.
And that's why I'm sitting here.
Go ahead, Tom. I'd rather hear
I'm
your
sorry.
opinion.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Tom.
I wasn't being sarcastic. Go ahead.
No, we really actually want to hear from you, Tom.
No, I wanted to hear what Jonas had to say because, I'm just curious because this is where I'm like, look, I wish this was more cut and dry. I was saying this the other day too, because I would love for us to be able to just sit here and go, "Yep, this is an absolute flop. They have destroyed Star Wars to the point where it is done. It is cooked." And I see a lot of people saying that already, using that specific term. And I'm like, if this is cooked, then it is undercooked as heck because. Honestly, they could have done a lot worse, and I don't see the things as bad, I guess, as some of the other folks do in the film itself and the box office. Because, I mean, a lot of this is just amortizing another season of the TV show.
Yes.
I don't know what people were expecting. I mean, at the end of the day, this is no different. We just brought up the X-Files movie. It's really not much different than the one that came out while the show was still on. I mean, it's just another episode, right? There's a lot of people who didn't care for that first movie, from my memory, too. They were just like, yeah, it's not as good as some of the best episodes, which, again, you go in with a certain amount of expectation, but at the same time, I'm looking at this movie, and I walked out, I had a good time. Was it Empire Strikes Back level? Heck no. But I would put it on the same level as enjoyability as some of the prequels. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it 3 episodes of a TV show crammed together? Absolutely. The only thing I feel like it really should have done is something it should have gave us that we didn't get in the TV show. But I'm glad I didn't have to watch a bunch of seasons of Ahsoka and Mando season 3 and stuff to get into it. And then the same thing with the ending. I'm glad it didn't leap off to something new that I have to, watch to understand what's going to happen here either.
Well,
I think
that
nice
that's actually
encapsulated.
That speaks to the point I was wanting to make, as well as this reads like it's just content, and I'm starting to hate that phrase, but I think this is when I use that word, this is the example here. This is 3 episodes that sound like they're pretty missable episodes, that they don't actually affect season 4, if that ever happens. None of the major players outside of the Mandalorian himself and Grogu show up in this. There's no Boba Fett. There's no Cara Dune for obvious reasons.
No.
There's no Grief Karga for obvious reasons. But there's also all of the, the great statement about the Mandalorian was it's about a single dad who can't help making best friends everywhere he goes. Like there's this rich cast of characters that should have shown up in a Mandalorian and Grogu movie if it was an event, but it's not an event. It's just more of what we were already getting essentially for free at home. And I go back to, and you mentioned the amortization of this, and I've said this online, and I really truly believe that this movie was made for the strict purpose of removing expenditures from the Disney Plus books so that they could have that profitable in one quarter as soon as possible, because Nelson Peltz was putting pressure on them to get this above the line as soon as possible. And so I'm insulted in some way that this is what they do, because they have these people that they parade out here that pretend to cry because the Babu Frick, that was not a curse word, that's an actual character.
That's a Sarlacc.
Exactly, that they pretend to cry because somebody put some Muppets up and did a funny voice in front of them. It is Disney, corporate Disney at its absolute peak of, here, enjoy this. It's not really great. We're going to pretend like it's the greatest thing ever. There's so much extra outside of, was it a good episode? Maybe.
But let me agree with Tom slightly. Tom, I would rather watch The Mandalorian Grogu than Attack of the Clones.
I was just going to say, and this is where I guess I see the issue with it, is I see a lot of people comparing it to Solo. And I'm like, if you even think that this movie is as bad as Solo, then I question your taste. And I see a lot of people picking on me for liking Superman, but you know what? This is Star Wars. I mean, I walked out of it. I didn't feel like I was insulted. I didn't feel like there was some girl boss issue. I'm not saying it's great, but at the same time, I'm sitting here going, what is the problem with this?
It was the wrong movie for the moment. I
totally agree and can't argue with everything that Jonas just said. But at the same time, I'm still looking at this going, it's not as bad as it could be. And it's definitely not as bad as Solo, because Solo was detrimental to Star Wars overall. And I can't believe people who stick up for that movie now.
Well, one thing I want to mention is that actually 2 things. One, this is Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Right. He did Elf. He did Swingers. He did Iron Man. This is not a hack. This is a guy who's made some consequential films that have changed pop culture. And
he's a genius.
This. I mean, it's staggering. And also, when did Sigourney Weaver lose the ability to act? That is one of the worst performances I've seen in many, many years. And I adore Sigourney Weaver. She's one of the bucket list of actors I'd love to meet and interview and just say, I enjoyed your work for decades. It's nice to meet you face to face. I never had the chance. She's terrible in this movie. And all the other characters, the villains, and I don't even know some of the characters' names, no one leaves an impression. The only one, it's still, listen, Grogu's cute, I get it, whatever, but it's so disappointing. And the fact that it comes out when you've got not 1, but 2 filmmakers who are weaned on YouTube, who are changing the horror scene and who are making movies with sort of imagination and vigor and wit and intelligence and something sophisticated and different and raw, as flawed as they can be. And then you have this movie with all the resources of Hollywood crap in the bed. I don't know, the comparison is stark.
I'm not sure I'm sold on Backrooms yet, because every YouTuber turned into a filmmaker that wasn't what's-his-face who made that sci-fi movie.
Me and you need to make a movie, Tom. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because people forget that Scream 5 and 6 were made by YouTubers too. Right? See, that's the other thing is and horror is always popular. See, this is the thing that the media always makes the mistake of saying, oh, horror's back. It's like, no, horror never leaves. That's the only genre that is evergreen. It never goes away. It never has a downtime. Sure, you'll have flops, but that's an audience that shows up no matter what. The reason you have movies like Scream or what could happen this weekend with Back Rooms is you have invested interests outside of the horror community. And then that shows a little bit more of a box office there. But what we have otherwise is we have a movie like Mando and Grogu that just isn't getting the attention it needs. And that's where I think the second weekend is a bigger deal. And you guys keep talking about it for a reason, because there's a bunch of stuff that's coming out besides that. Like you got that happening overseas. Like Andre, I talked to him this morning. This is the reason it came up, is I think it's not doing very well overseas at all, because they already switched out the main movie in the IMAX in Oslo. Because I told Andre about it this morning.
I read one of the trades that it's number one in UK and Ireland. So that means
it's not
against
number
what
one
competition?
else.
Yeah, that's the only place. Because here's like the thing, like this, I still haven't seen the movie, so I cannot comment on it directly. But from everything I've heard, like we know what this is from a production point of view. It's not a real movie. It's as pure a corporate product as a corporate product can be. Jon Favreau, he's a genius filmmaker, but he's also a company man. He's going to be loyal to the company. This is the whole reason why he did the live action Lion King remake. It wasn't because he had a massive vision for a movie and how it could. No. It was Bob Iger that came to him and said, look, dude, I know that this is not what you want to do, but you're going to have to take one for the team on this one. I think this is this exact same thing. This is him taking one for the team, possibly in exchange for maybe having more influence over Star Wars going forward. Who knows? Whatever the case may be, this is just a corporate product. It's not a real movie. It cannot be compared with all of the other things that actually are real movies, which are meant to change the scene. This is something that Disney did a fiscal decision to do. It's obviously something that fell in between several chairs and stuff like that. And ultimately what it comes down to, did the movie hurt the brand? And honestly, I don't think that it did. I think this thing falls into the category of it's mostly harmless. The people who were angry by it, and I understand that completely. I understand your review. There's nothing wrong with it at all. At the same time, I hear a lot of people had fun with it. I don't see the kind of anger at this as you had with The Acolyte or something like this. I think this is something that people are going to forget really, really quickly. And some kids might have fun with it. This is basically just a bench warmer until next year's big movie. That's what this is. This is what it needs to be considered as, a bench warmer. A bench warmer that had some fun moments, had a bunch of crap, but ultimately fell into the category of mostly harmless. It didn't. It's the first Star Wars project in a long time that I do not think actively harmed the brand. And I also have to say, box office wise, compared to any past Star Wars movie, it's doing awful, absolutely awful. But as we established, this isn't a Star Wars movie. This is an amortization of a TV show. The sets were already there. The cast was already there. This is just an episode or more episodes of a TV series that was already in production. And if we look at the box office, the long-range forecast was 80 million. Awful for a Star Wars movie. This is not the Star Wars movie. They may call it that, but from a production point of view, this is not the Star Wars movie. Never was, never will be. It's just a marketing gig to call it that. And expectations were revised downwards, even by Disney, before the movie came up. And then what happened at the box office? Lo and behold, it did better than anticipated. It got 81 million in its 3 days. Again, still horrible for a Star Wars movie, but considering the reality of where Star Wars is, not where it should be, not where it would have been if things were great, but in terms of the absolute dumpster fire Star Wars is, they still are able to put this thing out, which cost a fraction of what Solo did, which was started from scratch, which cost not even a fraction of what the actual sequel trilogy movies did. I think this is a win for Disney.
Whoa, Andre.
Harm them.
Andre.
Only in the
Whoa.
sense that it didn't harm them.
Andre,
they were
so-
able to shift money off the ledger. This
Yes.
is something that they can
This-
brag to investors about. It's a corporate product, and I think that this corporate product did what the corporate product was expected to do.
So let
I
me
would say
toss
from
some
a
things.
business standpoint, I agree with Andre that this is a success from the moment they got it off the Disney Plus.
Yes.
book.
Okay. But that's a complicated reason. It's the simplicity of the box office.
By conventional box office
But
metrics,
this is
a complete
This is why I
disaster.
said I wish it
This
was more
is not
cut
the
and
movie.
dry.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is why I said I wish this was more cut and dry, because I said this yesterday. I said this is a problem with this, because I don't think that there's as much doom and gloom going on in Disney about this as we are making it out to be. And rightfully so, because Disney is in a horrible place right now. This movie should have opened with $100 million. But the difference is that it met expectations, right? Basically is where it's at. And we brought up the re-release of the 77 version of Star Wars next year. And I've been bringing that up too. It's like, to me, this whole thing feels like a campaign to win people back. And it's funny you mentioned about Favreau in the future, because until Kathy was out of the picture, he was out of the picture, it seemed like. And then as soon as she was gone, you have Favreau and Filoni doing all these interviews together. Yes, it's because they made this movie. But if you listen to what Filoni is saying, it sounds like John is a bit more involved now than before. So I do agree with what Andre's saying. Is I think a lot of this was, okay, this is to make up for what I missed out on with season three originally, but it's also going to fill in a gap for now until we get to the next parts, because I'm sure you've brought up before that Ahsoka's been pushed back a year, I guess. And I'm curious if that'll even happen
6
now.
months, I think.
6 months.
Yeah, so we'll see. It'll happen, but it'll probably be different than what the initial plan is. And we haven't heard much about that big event movie that was supposed to happen, remember?
Yeah, that's probably canceled, would be my
That's what I'm
guess.
saying. So like a lot of the things that seemed like they were still on the table when Kathy was in play are not as much in play anymore. And it feels like this is kind of, this movie alone felt like, okay, guys, we're trying to get the dads and the boys back in on the franchise. It didn't work necessarily. It wasn't a win-win, but it was a win enough that I think that Disney moving forward isn't getting the message they need to get, because this was compared to Batman a couple of years back. Because like I was told that if people want the Snyderverse to continue, don't go see the Batman. Because that was the whole thing, because Warner Brothers used that as basically a testing, a canary in the coal mine to say, okay, enough people went to see this that they don't want to see Batman, but something's wrong because Batman's broken and should make $1 billion. That's what they got out of that.
I'm going to throw one more data point in here, as long as we're talking about corporate metrics. The Mandalorian Grogu was added as an overlay on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride. And on opening day at Disneyland, it was a 30-minute wait. And the day after it opened at Disney's Hollywood Studios, it was a 25-minute wait. That is an abysmal failure of a retheme for a ride. So they have so many problems with the Star Wars brand right now. I think they thought it would be a theme park brand. It's really not a theme park brand. It probably needs to be a couple of shops and the Star Tours level. Maybe they could add 1 or 2 more rides, but instead they tried to make it into Harry Potter at the theme parks. So I think this Star Wars has an existential problem here for the Disney company, because Bob Iger put it in there as this is a pillar of the company, as opposed to something that right now it has more significance than the fact that they own Alien right now. It has more significance than the fact that they own Planet of the Apes right now, but we're not exactly sure how much more significant, because this is not a theme park brand.
Just to add to clarify one thing, because I see there's people who are unsure of what I meant in the comments. Again, if this was a regular Star Wars movie, it would be an absolute failure. But this is not a regular Star Wars movie in my book. This is a corporate product made at a relative pittance, and it had 2 jobs. One job is to help them clean up the ledger and to basically enable them to cook the books. That was its most important mission. The other thing it had to do was not drive away any more fans. Franchise right now is in repair mode and everyone knows it. So the question is, did it allow them to cook the books? Yes, very, very well with the box office. It allowed them to cook the books. Did it chase people away? Did people come out of that movie saying, I am never, ever watching Star Wars again? Of the people that hadn't done so before, how many people said, this movie was the one that broke the camel's back? Now I'm done. I was okay with everything up till this point, but this is too much. I don't think that happened with anyone. So basically, it didn't. Well, maybe it did. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
But
I think it's an interesting point. And it's really...
For those two things win for what it was expected to do.
It's not divisive at all. It's not woke at all. There's one scene late in the movie where they show the different X-Wing fighters and the people, the pilots, and it's like a Benetton commercial.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, including Sigourney Weaver, who's in her 70s. God bless her, but it was a
well, that's
moment,
what I mean with how that just from what it is, it was expected to do from a corporate point of view, it did that. It's not it's not a great movie, but it did what it was supposed to do.
I mean, to me, Disney will always make money, will always survive, always has resources. It's sort of an unstoppable machine. But I think what Disney needed to do was sort of to build the mystique back up. I think that's one of the big failures here. It doesn't build the mystique, it reduces the mystique. It turns it into an ordinary film, which you'd hope that a Star Wars movie isn't. And I think that's the issue. But I think also one of the other issues in play is that once again, here's a Star Wars movie with no planning, with no sense of the big picture, with no ability to kind of expand the landscape or tease other stories or share where it fits into the overall big picture. Yeah, it's after the Empire was defeated and they're trying to chase away the remnants. That's a nothing burger with cheese. There's just so little planning here, and I don't know much about the Starfighter movie. I don't think I don't think anybody does. Where does that fit in? Why does that matter? I mean, even if it's a very good movie, and it quite well could be. I love Ryan Gosling. I think he's terrific.
All right.
But what's the point of it?
3 points. I got the 3 points, and it's not the end. You guys leap in however you want on this, okay? 3 points that need to be understood. 1, is Star Wars a theme park property? I don't care what they say now. I don't care if it is or not pragmatically. They thought it was, and they gave it the most premium real estate in the world. They gave it Disneyland's last expansion pad. Star Wars is therefore now a theme park brand. It has to be because it inhabits the most premium real estate that ever was or will be the last place they could expand in Disneyland. Point 2. This film needs $600 million to break even. That's not pro saying that. That's Disney, rando Disney exec who reached out to THR. This film is now likely to make it to 350.
Yikes.
That's a huge problem. So I get we moved it off the Disney Plus books. I don't think we moved it off the Disney Plus books thinking this was going to happen. I think we thought Moana 2 was going to happen inside the hallowed halls of Burbank. Mm-hmm. Point number 3, final point, because I've listened for a while now, and this is my final one. Starfighter is the last thing of any consequence coming out, and we don't even know if it's consequential.
Right.
If that fails at the box office, I don't know what they do with this franchise, because you can't sell it at that point.
I bet they wish they had that to release first right now. I guarantee you, Mando would have been, if they would have flip-flopped the two, I think we'd be having a different conversation right now. Because at least with Starfighter, there's no attachment to anything else prior to that. Right? It's its own thing. You got Ryan Gosling coming off of Barbie and Project Hail Mary. To me, it's a win for them in a sense that it's not a Skywalker movie. It's not an Ahsoka movie. It's not a prequel. It's a sequel, but it's a more of a world film. It feels like to me. We don't know anything about it yet,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as we know, it doesn't have Chewbacca in it or something. You know what I mean? Like 3PO is not going to pop up as far as we know, right?
Maybe Mara Jade. You never know.
It could be, but at this point, what difference does that make? Unless it's set in the past at some point. But
right.
I mean, I agree with the whole idea that Star Wars could be in worse shape. This to me just shows that there is still some life in it. When I went to the first IMAX 3D showing of the show, like the first one you could go to. It wasn't the first showing of the day, but it was the first showing you could go to. And it was packed for the most part. And I was surprised. It was full of Star Wars fans, legit Star Wars fans. These guys were pointing at all the Easter eggs. They even said, "There's Dave," when Dave Filoni came on screen.
I bet they applauded it in the movie.
They clapped a little bit here and there. There was this one guy who was really getting into it. I was like, "Calm down, buddy." Like, geez. Like every time Mando would be successful, he's like, "Yes!"
Every comedy needs the loud laugher. There needs to be one, not more, but there needs to be the one guy who has the laugh that you can't forget in a comedy. Same thing with a Star Wars film. You need the one guy who's all in.
But there's signs that this thing is not going to have a good second weekend, and that's where I see more doom and gloom ahead, because this internet movie, The Back Rooms, is going to be a big problem for it. Chris is right. It's not going to go away. It's going to be a huge success this weekend. I've been comparing it kind of to Minecraft in a sense that it's a new kind of horror film. It's this creepypasta horror film. It's not made for us necessarily, our age group, but it's made for these younger kids.
Right.
And these younger kids are going to go get into that. There's one other thing that Mandalorian and Grogu is competing with, though, and that is the King of Pop. And unfortunately, that is the biggest problem it's going to have to get over. It's not going to, because as I was pointing out earlier, guess what movie is taking its place in Oslo, which is probably the biggest theater you guys have there, I'd imagine, right, Andre?
That's the biggest theater in the country.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And it's Michael coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, coming back.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. Well, it's a
Starting
great
today.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Well, that
All
just
right,
tells
folks.
me that Mando and Grogu is not performing there.
It's not. No one
Right.
cares.
Folks, you tell us, what are your thoughts on The Mandalorian Grogu? Is it a financial success, a win, a loss? Is it meh? Does Disney live to see another day? And what does it mean for the franchise of Star Wars? We want to hear from you in the chat and the comments below. All right, we clicked a button. Christian disappears. We bring him right back. It's a StreamYard thing, folks. We apologize. It's a real professional outfit they got going on. I know, right? Twister. Jonas, you don't have to twist my arm, though. Let's get the super chats up on the screen, sir.
All right, Bad News Badger. Sorry, member for 28. Skipper, are we going to make it special with pro face reveal? Nah, just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
So this is my favorite thing, and I knew this would happen. My favorite thing is the idea that people stop on by today with no idea that we did a big, hoopla last night, and they just come in and like, oh, pros on camera. Okay, well, just don't make a big deal.
I'm sick and tired of you guys revealing yourselves, and you're all sexier than me.
Ooh la la.
The next thing that's going to happen is Jonas is going to reveal himself, and he's going to look just like that.
Oh,
Jonas,
man, that would be. Please
don't hate
do
me
that.
because I'm beautiful.
Please
Tom
don't
is
do that to me.
Tom is a dapper dude.
To heck with all of you.
He's not a
Andre
dapper
was
Dan.
the biggest voice. Like I needed him to come on camera, but I'm like, I'm going to look that much more ugly now, right? Like,
Look at this guy. Look at this Andre guy. I mean, just dapper as he can be.
Yeah.
Viking through and through.
they got good DNA over there.
Yep.
Brad Pitt, step aside.
Jonas, what do we got?
Christian Coriejo for $2. Kind of hope the drop is 66% for order 66 headline.
Okay. Darn it. Yep.
That was
this is
my
karma.
guess.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. It needs to happen now.
Yep.
And I have to play it, Jonas. I'm sorry. I know we're
Go ahead.
delayed, and
Go ahead.
after you just have to.
Commander Cody, the time has come, homie. Execute Order 66. I'm still alive, motherfucker.
If we were ever going to play it, we had to play it then.
Yeah. I'm just talking about Mace Windu. Grand Wazoo member for 29. Like the color of your cap. Oh, like the color of your cap, Pro. Merch when?
Well, we've got a pro store, and we'll be adding some stuff to it. I think we got to add the mug. The actual pro show mug. Only problem is it's just
Put
black
your
text.
mug on a mug.
There, put your mug on a mug. But yeah, when we made it for the avatar, we didn't put a lot of thought into making it something you could trademark. So it's just literally we based it on World's Best Boss from The Office. So I don't know what we can. Anybody can make their own. But hey, if you want to buy it from me, cool deal.
Cool deal.
Put pro brand matcha in it.
Rowan of Strata for 5. There are strange times. These are strange times indeed. It used to be that movies based on video games were guaranteed flops. By the way, Uwe Boll is coming back with an unofficial sequel to House of the Dead.
Well, and I don't know if they're necessarily going to change that because
23 years later.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mortal Kombat's bad.
Yeah.
But Sonic and Mario have done well, and there was Detective Pikachu that did pretty okay.
Yeah, but I feel like those are exceptions to the rules. I mean, we'll see how Street Fighter rolls out. Some of the horror games will lend themselves to adaptations, but we've talked about this for a while now. I've been maintaining, I don't think that video games are the next comic book movie. Like, I just don't.
I think Pokemon could Pokemon could be
Super
a franchise you
Mario,
could mine.
Those are different, though, right?
Well, let's see what happens with Zelda. Let's hold off on that till we see what happens with Zelda, and then I'll know.
That's kind of in that exception rule, probably. But like another problem I pointed out with video game movies, you're going to have a point where a lot of these movies are basically like a snake eating their own tail, especially when you get to some of the classic franchises, because a lot of those were rip-offs of movies already. Because they couldn't get the movie rights, right? Even Mortal Kombat is built off the idea they were going to make a kickboxer game with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it fell apart, right? So a lot of these games were built off of, other franchise ideas already. So some of them just aren't going to work, and that's why I'm not surprised that
I'm going to just throw Borderlands into the conversation briefly here. That was that looked a lot like Borderlands and was not received well.
I'm still waiting for Qbert the movie.
Disney got him. Grinned Wazoo. Speaking of which, right after the Fox acquisition, Disney stumbled into the rights for Mega Man, and they've done nothing with it. I'm sure it's reverted back to Capcom at this point. Grand Wazoo 4283 gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Grand Wazoo, helping us stay away from the ghosts and reach the banana level one day.
Please, sir, may I have more pro memberships?
What?
God bless us, everyone!
Bingo. Error 1. John Maynard for 5. Tom, we true diehard Star Wars fans aren't giving anything from KK or Dave Filoni with enough enmity. Aren't giving from
enmity.
Yeah. This movie is supercut and dry flop.
The only problem is I can't be hypocritical about it. Because, I remember going to see He-Man, She-Ra, the Secret of the Sword in theaters as a little kid, and that was awesome. And then 3 months later, I'm going, I've already seen this. So I'm new to this. This is nothing new to me. To me, I guess people are making a bigger deal out of it than I understand, I guess, a little bit.
You've become jaded, Tom.
No, I'm just I'd be a hypocrite if I was complaining too much, because a lot of these movies, we've had a lot of movies that are from TV shows, and they're really never as good as a TV show. So I don't know why everybody's expecting this one to be any better. That's where I guess I'm scratching my bald head going, I don't see the bigger problem.
I was worried where you were going there with that
one. Let me tell you, Tom, keep scratching your bald head. That's a good place for your fingers to go.
I'd say Serenity was better than the show. Joshua Stewart for $2. Y'all seen any of the Backroom series on YouTube? I didn't realize it was a series on YouTube.
It's a creepypasta basically, and that's where I said this is a thing for the kids. They get this more than we do.
Kids are into it. Even my daughter's looking forward to this thing. She knows all this. Yeah, because she saw a little bit of Exit 8, and she was like, "Hey, it's just like this thing."
And the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, they're not perfect. They're basically glorified TV specials as far as production value goes, but they're exactly what the audience would be looking for. So, they understood the assignment and they did it well. In theaters, I would probably have been disappointed with that if I wasn't aware of what it was. Grand Inquisitor for 10. Filoni is a hack. All he's done is rip off Ralph McQuarrie's concept art. Zeb was a potential design for Chewie. The scene of the AT-AT blowing up from underneath is concept art from Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I don't think he did that alone, but yeah, I think
I was going to say there was a lot of homage paying, but I heard, and this is one of the things that I was curious about if you guys had heard too, is that this Zeb was basically the only reason Zeb was in this movie is so they could create the asset.
Yep. Which I said when I saw him, I thought, please just do that in practical effects. This looks awful. This looks terrible. I called him Wombat Boy. I didn't know he had a name. Well, I just said Wombat Boy is superfluous to anything in this movie. We don't need him. Get rid of him, please.
Well, the reason I brought it up is because to me, it's just more like Star Trek was back in the day. And this is what Andre and I have been saying is why we don't think Disney is as in panic mode as everybody else thinks they are. Because this is just basically them using this movie to pay for things that they couldn't normally pay for the show that were too expensive. Because an entire CGI character is expensive.
If it comes up $200 million shy on the ledger, that's not good. So if it's $200 million short of the break even, that's a problem. I think if they could have made it to 500 million, they could have fudged it. But 350 is just woefully embarrassing to them.
No, I agree with you guys. See, the thing is what I'm trying to say, and I think Andre's getting at too, is the opening is the thing, is that everybody's like, oh, this is a disaster. It's like the opening is fine. It's next weekend they got to worry about.
Exactly.
But Michael is coming back to not just Oslo, but other IMAXs. That is a big deal. That movie's been out for 6 weeks.
Michael's
6 weeks.
The movie is a phenom. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it's not just that. It's the fact that movies that those movies are doing horrible, because the same thing happened to Mortal Kombat. And in the last few weeks, every other movie that hasn't quite performed the way they were hoping to outside, the only other movie that's really performed in the last few weeks, besides Michael, has mainly been Devil Wears Prada 2 from my memory. And the Sheep movie's doing okay.
Yeah, worst marketed movie ever, though, the Sheep movie.
Yeah, but other than that, like, I love the diversity of the box office right now. See, that's the thing, is we're actually at a place where in Hollywood is actually doing pretty well, because they've had a few solid weekends now where they've made close or over $150 million, which is good. They need to get it closer to that 200, 300 million every weekend, because I remind people, $100 million is what they used to make back in the 60s. And that was considered a disaster. So when they try and pretend that Hollywood's in great shape, it's not, kids. And this is a step in the right direction. This year has been a huge win for Hollywood in general. And that's where I guess another reason why I don't see this as a big a deal.
Yeah.
Like Disney, I think, is actually sighing a bit after this weekend, more so than anything. They were probably prepared for the worst. And they're like, well, we did what we originally expected to. That's not so bad. That means we're basically at a new baseline now, is what they expect.
I think the one lesson I want to share is that, yes, they got it off the books. Yes, they did all these sort of behind the scenes maneuvering from a fiscal point of view. And yes, they still may lose money at the box office, but the Star Wars brand is precious. It's not just a franchise. It's not just Super Mario. It's something that has been around for 50 years. And I think when you diminish that, you can't measure its damage in a way.
No, that's true. Absolutely.
I'll also point out
damage
that
is immense.
Yeah, Zeb Orrelios was in season 3 of The Mandalorian, by the way.
But it was not the same asset, as my understanding.
You're correct. It was like from the head up or something, or he was sitting at the bar. Woodsy for 5, not as bad as it could be, is the worst excuse I've ever heard to like a movie. I'm going to throw something in here that I've thought of a few times. If they were having a phase 1 through 3 run with Star Wars movies, and this slid in there like a Captain Marvel, this would have been fine. I think we probably are putting more on the Mandalorian shoulders than we should. I could see that, but it just doesn't feel like a special experience. And we want Star Wars to be special. We want to not see the seams when we see a Star Wars film. But unfortunately, Disney is all seams at this point.
That's the best way, I think, of putting it right there, comparing it to that. Because if Star Wars was in worse shape right now, I agree with you wholeheartedly. This movie would have been a much bigger, bit more like the Marvels with the S on the end. If the franchise was as in bad a shape as Marvel is right now. So yeah, that comparison is actually pretty good. It's not like it's coming off of a big, huge, bunch of wins either, right? It's had nothing but misses since season 2 of Mandalorian. So yeah. So this, I guess, is, like I said, back to baseline, I guess, is what I was saying before. So yeah.
Bad News Badger for 50 Danish crowns. I'm so glad they finally fixed the budget problem. That really gave me renewed hope for The Acolyte season 2.
Yeah.
Eclipse Warlord for $2. Mando season 3, Book of Boba Fett, and Acolyte hurt Star Wars. Man, this movie could have used some Boba Fett. I would have actually been interested to see what they do with that, but apparently they don't like Tamira Morrison right now.
By the way, there was no post-credit scene, right?
Nope.
No surprise cameos of consequence. I mean,
even on the bad episodes of The Mandalorian, I really enjoyed that theme playing over the concept art for the episode. I always like that. The Wampa for $5. Thanks for all you do. I'm going to wait for streaming on this one. Me too. I don't think there'd be much difference. Packing Protons for $5. Making a quick trailer for Curse of Dracula movie idea using Seed Dance 2.0.
Interesting.
Pretty nice idea for a Dracula movie.
Packing Protons for $5. I asked this before. If Starfighter fails and OG Star Wars re-release performs lower than expected, what do they do? I think they're probably going to put TV level productions in theaters if that's where they are with this. They can't admit. They can't admit that they failed on this one.
I have a feeling though that re-release is just it's going to do better than I think a lot of people think.
Oh, I think it's going to do great, and I think it's going to be a real message to them.
But I also forget how huge the special editions were when they came out.
I think they're going to go all in with an Anakin strategy to save them after this.
They really need to, because I think the growth for the appreciation of Hayden Christensen in that, I think everybody understands that he was working with a, let's say, not an actor's director, and the appreciation for the prequels has only grown in comparison. Everyone hated The Force Awakens, and that was the focus of the entire discourse until Last Jedi came out. And no one, that the worst compliment that you can give Rise of Skywalker is it was mostly inoffensive in that it didn't shift the conversation away from The Last Jedi.
Well, I disagree. I think it's even just as bad as The Last Jedi. The reason we just don't notice it is because it's not as J.J. Abrams is probably a better filmmaker than Rian Johnson is what it is. Because that movie is nothing more than the world's most expensive Twitter war between directors. That's why it's entertaining.
Boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonas.
First half hour is just basically J.J. Abrams going, no, Ryan, you are wrong.
No, I totally agree. Jonas, the programming notice, we are at 26 out of 50 super chats with the one that just came in from Rob in Tennessee. I'm going to need you to track that going forward. The super chat counter is broken again on YouTube, and they really need to fix this. I'm about at the point where I'm going to stop using it because we just can't depend on YouTube getting this fixed. So let's finish up the super chats, and then we'll hit the story that we've got next up, folks. YouTube dominating traditional TV in a new way that you've probably never heard of. But first, Jonas, let's finish those super chats.
Irate Specialist for $2 for the Wilton only Rings of Power watch party. He's welcome to watch. He's welcome to watch that on his own channel whenever he wants. I don't see the why is that showing up here? The first Dragon Queen for $2, and I apologize for said helicopter several times.
Go away, helicopter. Go away. Go away. Go away.
Robin 10 for $5. Big picture. If Man-O-Man / Goku film No Star Wars is likely received as a fun but not good film. Big names Star Wars tie-in doomed it. Expectations. There were no big names in this film, though. You had 5 minutes of Pedro and a couple of minutes of Sigourney Weaver. And Sigourney Weaver has nothing to do with this property.
I'm glad it wasn't a cameo fest, though, either, at the same time. I mean, there was a few Easter eggs here and there for, the Star Wars fans to pick out, but they didn't stop the movie to have a Han Solo cameo or something like that. So I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but,
Yep. And Robin 10 for $2. This is for your new super chat counter. Fix it.
Hey, you're gonna have to call the YouTube plumber. We don't know what's going on, man. That's
$1 billion problem.
Different business. Fix it, Felix. I can fix it. All right, Andre, we need to know, sir, are you game for one more segment, or do you need to wrap it up at this time?
Well, how much time do we anticipate the next
15
segment?
minutes on the clock, Andre. Can you do it, sir?
I can give you 10.
All right, 10 minutes. We got this. All right, folks, here we go. Let's talk about how much YouTube is now dominating TV the traditional way, and in a genre that many people don't even have a clue. Folks, do you remember a time when Cops was all the rage, the show on TV? Well, it's still on, and there are still shows that cover law enforcement doing the things they do. But what if I told you that TV has largely gone the way of the dodo, and now we're seeing what's happening across the country and the world when it comes to the popo? Well, on YouTube, and basically only on YouTube. And it's bringing forth some really fun stuff. For the New York Post, this was started off on the TikToks, the Instagrammies, the YouTubes. A one-armed woman has gone mega viral. Well, why? Folks, here's the video. You got to see it. She gets pulled over. Here we go.
This is why you're being pulled over. The city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
Obviously not. So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating
the phone. You just
the
said
phone.
my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You had a hand out. The right hand. I saw you manipulate.
So you didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I saw you
didn't see me with my right hand.
Okay, so are you
saying that you saw me with my right hand?
I know what I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
She gave him an out.
I did not.
Did you or did you not?
She gave him an out, and she didn't take it.
Didn't take it.
Did you? Yeah, or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
The answer there, by the way, is how would I be driving? How would I hold the wheel? I don't have a second hand.
You did
No,
not
you
have your phone in
didn't.
your hand. Hand to God, you didn't have one in your hand.
Hand to God.
Yeah, hand to God, you don't have one in your hand.
Wow, this has got to be a joke.
This
This can't be real.
It's real. It's real, and it's gone super viral.
Because if this is real, then look, I sympathize with a lot of officers, and I support officers. They go through a lot of crap. But this guy should not be a police officer. He's too dumb.
There are good and bad apples. There are good and bad apples in every profession. There are good teachers. There are great teachers. There are terrible teachers. There are good cops, bad cops. There are good lawyers, bad lawyers. We can go through the full list. So we're not here to, folks. If you think we're going to rag on the police, that's not at all the case.
No. This guy's dumb.
Right. I mean, he's in every group you can find. Here's what I'm finding that's of interest to me, because I saw this take off and it was trending everywhere.
I love this channel.
And I
believe
believe
my friends are on here.
I believe, Tom, that's undefeatable, man. That's great. So I believe it started off on some of these kinds of channels. That's where it took off. And I thought, well, I wonder what the numbers are for these kinds of channels now. And I'll tell you a funny anecdote in just a second, but I looked this up. Midwest Safety, which is one of the channels now that uses the police body cam to make YouTube videos. Folks, look at this number. I just want you to see this. 117 million views.
I've told Andre about this thing too, because I'm not kidding when I say that my friend, like I'm half kidding. Like a lot of these videos come from my area.
Well, Midwest Safety, right?
I've been watching this channel for years, and I watch some of the other ones too. And you're right; these are great, because what they'll do is they actually go in, they get all the footage from all these cases, and they generally put them all. Some are lazier than others. Some do a much better job than others. Midwest is one of the ones where they just kind of slap them up there as is, but they edit them all together and stuff like that. But it's a lot like watching Cops, basically was. And I still watch Cops on Tubi and stuff, or whatever channel it pops up on the streaming stuff that's live still or whatever. But yeah, and I'm not surprised by this. I'm not alone in this. A lot of other people watch these.
You are not
very
alone.
Digestible. They're just,
you are not alone. 117 million views in the last 30 days. This is insane. And the reason it is insane, folks, is because Cops is still on. Did you know this Cops is still on?
Yes.
It's on Fox Business, and it does darn well. It's the #1 show on Fox Business, and Fox Business, you might think, well, Fox Business is, just a teeny tiny little cable. No, it's a big channel. It's a big channel, and versus the others. Look at these numbers here, okay? Pulling 267,000 views on Friday, May 8th. That's the latest we have. Pulling, 110,000 on May 1st, 106,000 on April 30th. These are fine. These are good, in fact. But they don't add up to anything like 117 million. And this is one YouTube channel. This is one YouTube channel. So how are we getting mega viral? Because, folks, if you're watching Midwest Safety or these other channels that do this stuff, this is the culture now. Everybody has gone to this. The era of Cops, the show is over. People are tuning into YouTube. And here's my funny story, and then I can't wait to go to the panel on this. So we're at MegaCon. We're at MegaCon, and I've got Lauren with me. Lauren, of course, is a panelist who knows Star Wars. And Lauren has told me that nobody's going to know us at MegaCon. And that made sense because I'm not on camera yet, but he has been. And I told Lauren, no, I think people are going to know you at MegaCon. And he said, no, nobody will know me. We go up to, and Jonas, what's the name of the gentleman who did the choreography for all the prequels?
Nick Gillard?
Gillard. Nick Gillard. Yeah. So you got it. You jogged my memory. So we see Nick Gillard. Lauren sees Nick Gillard. Lauren loves everything that Nick Gillard did, the choreography of the prequels, the fights. It's amazing. And as we walk up, Nick Gillard looks at Lauren and says, wait a minute. I think I know you. You're on YouTube, aren't you? Or something like that. And Lauren is flabbergasted and can't believe it. But after they have their conversation, I wander back over because I want Lauren to get to have, the talk and all that. But I wandered back over after a few minutes. And I said, so you watch a lot of YouTube, And he said, oh, no, not really, not a lot. And I said, what do you watch? And he said, oh, just, crazy cop shows. It drags me in. And I said, wait a minute. Are you watching Midwest Safety? And he said, oh, I can't stop. I'll admit it. I can't stop watching it. And I said, I know. It has, crazy woman takes over a Walmart. Cops called in. I said, I get sucked in and I'm done for like 45 minutes. And we had this bonding moment, and I'm thinking the whole world, we're all getting sucked into watching body cam footage now. But it's just amazing to me that everybody knows bad boys, what you gonna do, yada yada. And this has happened, and we haven't realized that YouTube has taken over this entire genre, and we're all watching it. We just don't know that we're all watching it together. So, Christian, what can we learn from this in terms of, you know, where the entertainment really has moved to? What do you think about the new media it leapfrogged it and nobody paid attention? And we're not talking about the fact that everybody's watching this.
We like things that are raw, unfiltered, and real. And we have a hunger for that. And I think that's what this is showing right now. I think there's, you know, unprocessed, unvarnished, unscripted. And I think, you know, there's a hunger for that. It's why podcasting is doing so well. It doesn't have all the things that, you know, we used to have. So that's where we are right now.
I think so. And I think we're having this cultural moment where everybody's watching crazy body cam footage and nobody is, you know, going to the dinner party because we all just think we're in isolation with these things popping up. Andre, well, hang on a second. No, Christian, you're not getting away with it that easy. Hang on. Before I go to Andre, Christian, what's your guilty pleasure YouTube channel that you're falling into? Where's your time trap? What is it that sucks you in and you say, oh, no, I can't believe I watched another one of these videos?
Well, I don't think it's a guilty pleasure, but I watch a lot of cooking videos and I get a lot of tips that way. So when I'm going to bed, I either watch cooking videos or actually some of my favorite comedians, I will fall asleep to them, like Sam Bell and Mark Normand.
Yeah.
And it's just stand-up comedy. I don't know why it scratches an itch for me. I mean, I guess it could be like watching Johnny Carson back in the day where you're going to fall asleep to yucks and humor and silliness. But those are my addictions right now. Nothing doom scrolly, but you know.
I'll tell you, as I go to Andre on it, you know, you leave YouTube open and it just keeps playing all night somehow, and you come back and the algorithm has shifted because I came back one day and YouTube apparently somehow had found its way to these guys who run Japanese food trucks. Ooh. And I've told this on the channel, but I got to say it on camera because I'm now completely addicted to these videos where these guys who are like 80 years old come on and they're so happy. They're just so freaking happy.
The only other one like that is the candy making ones. Have you seen those too?
Yes, the candy people too. They work like it's super hot. They're sweating to death. Yeah, but the food truck guys, they're like 80 and they've worked, you know, nonstop their whole lives, and they come and they say, many years ago, when I was a young man at only 40 years old, I used to wake up at 3 a.m, but now I give myself easy time. I wake up at 4. Ha, 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 ha. And then it'll cut to some guy who's like their son who's 55. And he's like, if I work hard, one day I can take over for my father. I believe I will be blessed. You know, I love this stuff. Darn it, I'm getting sucked in. Andre, people are getting sucked in by this these cop shows too. It's taken over what we used to watch on cable TV. And I think we need to be talking about this more as the success of the new media. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree completely because this is the kind of like, well, it's true crime, right? It's true crime. It's engaging. It's something that, depending on situation, could happen to you or someone.
Actual reality TV.
Yeah, it's actual reality because, like most reality TV, is still scripted. Hate to break it to you, all you ladies who like Sunset, the broker ladies, it's all scripted.
It's fake.
Script Doctor used to work on a lot of those shows.
Yeah, this is real, and it's real drama. It's real human moments. You have like people who are completely entitled, being put in their place, a little bit satisfying and stuff like that. Kind of has everything. I'm not surprised in the slightest. I mean, once in a blue moon, I mean, I too have fallen into the rabbit hole of watching these videos. Not my go-to, but it's been known to happen. So yeah, I'm not surprised in the slightest.
I can't stop when somebody is running around unclothed, taking over an entire neighborhood on a 50-minute, chase. I just think, yeah, I'll watch that. I get trapped. Tom, what are your friends doing to me?
I might wind up on one. I'm not kidding, because I had a neighbor lady like 2 months ago getting chased by the cops naked on my porch.
Oh no, it is porch. I knew we were going
dog's
there.
Barking. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm gonna keep this as clean as I can. I come downstairs. I stick my head out the door. I'm like, what is going on? The cops are like, your neighbor's running down in your yard naked. And I'm like, well, get her the heck out of here. And he's like, we're trying.
Midwest Safety, please. If you enjoy our channel, we enjoy yours. Please.
I have the other angle.
I'm begging you.
I will take some money for the other angle, by the way, if you get that video. No.
I want to see Tom in his PJs out on the porch. What's going on?
All I did was binge a bunch of Adam Savage tested videos where he does Q&A with the audience. Yeah.
But I guess I had this neighbor that got jacked up, and she decided to take off from the cops naked.
There you go.
She ended up on my back porch.
Final question for the panel. Think about the budget here. And this is why the new media is winning in every domain. If I'm the cops program, I got to pay to get a camera crew to ride with the cops. I got to get somebody who's going to be my person who narrates, all this kind of stuff. I got to play by all the rules of the legacy media. If I'm Midwest Safety or any of these others, and I apologize to those channels out there who are saying, why do we not get attention? I do apologize. I don't want to get your names wrong. I could save some of them, but I might get the names wrong. If I'm one of those channels, though, all I got to do is get a FOIA, right? And I think this stuff is readily available. All I got to do is pull the body cams that are public record and just play it. And every once in a while, put up some captions, and explain the law. And I've added some value to it in YouTube's eyes. And I mean, infinitesimal. The budget is infinitesimally small. And you can there's no way that a cop show can ever keep up with the constant deluge of law enforcement news all across the country with these public record body cams.
Well, the big difference.
That's what the shot of the Late Show staff on X.
Oh, yes.
Viral, because they needed a million people to make that dumb show. And then you have YouTube content creators who are doing it all for a fraction of a fraction of a fraction and getting more eyeballs. So that's where we are today.
Well, they're actually, what I was going to say is they're actually doing it cheaper and more cost effective, and it's more real than what Cops was, because Cops was literally just a crew hanging out with a bunch of guys. And I'm not saying they would fake events, but they would have like several crews with different cops just in case something happened. So they could film 50 hours worth of stuff in a week. Right. But they would only use literally 45 minutes of what they got because nothing else happened.
Right.
But with these things, these are as they're happening through the body cams. Like you said, they have some hindsight to where they can go back to the court records, give you a little bit of stuff what happened after the fact, because a lot of times it takes X amount of months to be able to get this stuff because you have to pay for it. It's not free. You have to pay for like a fee to have it processed or whatever. And then you get the footage, and it's usually after the case is done with, or when it's made public. It depends on the state. It varies by state.
Right.
Wisconsin just happens to be one of those states that it's easy to get the footage from, I guess. So that's why Midwest is big, and there's a few others that a lot of them are from Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan area.
Plus, there's good content in those states.
Exactly.
Too,
right. I'm going to point out the original video that we've talked about here with the woman who was caught holding a phone in a hand that doesn't exist. That was from February, and it's just now surfacing today. So
that's why I said there's like a process that you have to go through. It's not very easy to do. So, but these guys have been doing it for a while, and they've benefited from it. Good for them.
Well, here's what I wonder too, and I don't know, but I'll put this out there. If one of these does well, it's public record. What's to stop me as another channel from saying, just pull that video down. Thank you for getting the body cam. It's public record. We're going to take that down now, and we're going to make it our own, and we'll put our graphic package over it and all that. And off they go. So, hey, it's an interesting thing. Apparently, we're just so interesting. It's the Truman Show, and legacy media is losing badly to the new media. Advantages, disadvantages, but YouTube conquering everybody. Again, a single YouTube channel, 113 million views per month in a genre that has been conquered by us, by you, by everybody across the red, white, and blue. And now it's time to say goodbye to Andre from Midnight's Edge. Andre, you got to go away, but buddy, we've had a great time, and I love having you on the show. And again, I want to say thank you for being a trailblazer in this area. Without you, so many would not be doing what we are doing. Andre, tell the folks about Midnight's Edge and what you've got coming up.
Well, first of all, again, thanks for the kind words. It's always a pleasure to be here. Yeah, we've been doing this now for more than a decade, doing a business level analysis on Hollywood, the entertainment industry. We also stream same time as you guys on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That means tomorrow. Feel free to be there. And then, of course, we also drop videos on a very regular basis. Dropped one yesterday, and we will have more coming soon. So just check back for that. And please check, because The YouTubes don't like us very much. So notifications, that's very, very rare that people get those. So please check the channels, check out the videos.
There you go, folks. And don't forget to be on Midnight's Edge Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Eastern, the place that you need to be for how many years now, Andre? How long have you guys been doing the show?
We've been doing the show since 2020. Yeah.
Andre's been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
Don't let him fool you.
With the live stream we've been doing for
Only
like 5-6 years now. Yeah.
I could have sworn it was longer. I thought I remembered going all the way back to Last Jedi days. Did you guys do some scattered, impromptu live shows?
Yes, we did scattered streams.
And I started doing Midnight's Edge After Dark first, actually. So that I've been doing since, when was it? 2017, I think it was.
Yeah.
I remember I remember in prior careers turning you guys on at noon and just listening in. I've loved what you do for a very long time. So Andre, keep it going, man, and we appreciate you.
And thanks for having us. It's always a pleasure to be here as well.
He's got to go put me to work, is what he's doing.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not kidding.
All right, take care. Thanks for having me.
See you. Thanks for
Later.
being here, Andre.
All right, Jonas, we've got more super chats, and we're keeping count. What are we at right now?
We are at, let's see, at 26, 27, 28 right now.
20 out of 50 on the super chat goal. Folks, it may be hard to rise all the way up there, but my gosh, we've had so many gifted memberships today. We may throw in a little mini Q&A at the end of the show.
Yep. This is JM Gautier. Changed my ID to just investor. Saw your show late last night. Some points. Number one, Rush Limbaugh was a rare talent, a great voice for radio broadcast. And two, a superb screen presence and look. You have both, sir, with a great team. Basid.
Thank you so much. And
pro crew. Yes.
We try very hard to be intentional in everything we do. And I'll just say this. We understand the Holly weirds in a way that not even they could explain.
Yep.
There's your Rush Bow.
JM Gautier became a YouTube member at the, I'm going to say the silver level. It disappeared from my screen. Yep, silver.
Hi ho, to silver we go. Welcome aboard.
Yep. And Lady Gamester for $2. It all started to unwind when they fired Gina. For whether it's the direct losing of Gina on The Mandalorian or the fact that the Disney company had a large studio feel like they had basically open season on someone who read as conservative, that they felt like they had the license to call that person, what was it, despicable, deplorable, doesn't matter what the word was, it matters that they felt like they were in a situation where they could say, we're all part of a certain secret society. I think you all know what it is. Sorry, that was a little oh brother, where art thou for you? But yeah, they felt like they were fine to insult a large portion of the United States, global people as well. So,
and Jonas, you have been kicked out of the Woolworths. By the way, I will. I'll add too that it was a 1-2 punch.
Entire chain.
It was a 1-2 punch. So firing Gina insulted a lot of people because people said, "Well, if you'll do that to her, you would do that to me in a heartbeat." The other thing they did was merchandise self-deletion. And the merchandise self-deletion was you put Grogu with Luke Skywalker. Okay, now I can do Luke Skywalker action figures with Grogu, and I can turn Grogu into a little Jedi Padawan. And now the Mandalorian version of Baby Yoda is not the toy the kids want for the next Christmas season. So now we're going to get the new ones. It's the new Jedi stuff, and I can do all that kind of stuff. The Mando can come get him back later. And they did that in an instant. Rather than letting that sit, letting the opportunity to grow Grogu that way and have Luke back and all that kind of stuff and repair some of the sequel trilogy stuff, they just instantly said, no, you don't get Luke. Boba Fett, extra episode, take him away. And that also destroyed so much of the momentum they could have had.
Well, I think that's about the time I first started talking to you guys or met you guys too, was around that period, wasn't it? Roughly, because there was a lot of going on in the behind the scenes there, because that was when Chapek had come in, and the one bad thing he did, one of the only bad things he did, was he basically asked Kathleen Kennedy what the heck she was doing messing around with that Blood and Bone franchise.
Lost that one.
Instead of Indiana Jones and Star Wars and whatnot over.
Killed that one.
Side. That was the worst mistake he ever made. He should have just left her being distracted. And while she was distracted, go, okay, boys, go do your thing. You're cooking, keep cooking. Because at that point, you're right. That was the glimmer of hope of a complete reversal of what had happened to Star Wars. Not 100%, but you were basically about 75% of the fans were back on board with what was going on Mando on screen.
Right.
And they were all in with Favreau.
Right, and then what happened when you went back to season 3? Season 3 was, it's the adventures of Mando and Grogu with no direction whatsoever. It's just, and really what season 3 was, hey, we fired Gina. We need our own version of the girl boss. So Bo-Katan is going to be every single episode on the adventures of Mando and Grogu. It was awful.
The proof is on screen, right? We got Ahsoka, we got Mando season 3, and we got the Acolyte, and Andor barely made a blip, right? Yep. That's what happened. That was and we forget about Obi-Wan too, right?
Oh my!
Everybody completely forgets about Obi-Wan, which is supposed to be getting a second season.
Nah, not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
maybe not. But,
yeah. What a waste. That's what we need. We need a very sad Obi-Wan Kenobi. Robin 10 for $5. I've family in law enforcement, and we vent about crappy enforcement. Leos dislike bad police work as much as non-Leos. Crappy cops are crap.
Yep. And the people who deal with cops, listen, we're not saying that it's always the cop's fault. We would never do that. The majority of the time, it's the person who is being a jack-A to the cop that's in trouble. And you can see that if you watch Midwest Safety. There are a lot of people out there who don't know what to do.
These videos, you get a lot more respect for law enforcement after a while, and you see some of the crap they put up with. Like that, that video you showed is not the norm.
Right.
That's
it's usually the opposite
to the rules.
Yep.
And that's why I said that cop should not be one.
But listen, I've been on the receiving end of a bad cop before. I got pulled over at like 3 a.m. on the way back from a major trip, and there was no reason whatsoever. And the cop, wanted to search the vehicle, and I was like, it's freezing outside. No, and I had to sit there for 30 minutes while he just did that to annoy me, probably because he had a bad night, because he was frustrated he had to work that evening. I don't know. But after 30 minutes, you can go. And I was like, yay, I've been, 30 minutes removed from being at home and being in bed. So these things happen. Everybody has bad days on both sides, but usually the cop is trained to be on the right side and the person is having a bad reaction. Yep. Usually.
Bruce Newhouse for $2. Truth is stranger than fiction. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Rowan it doesn't. I just wanted to say on the one comment, it doesn't help that the world is not this one, but the one before it, but this goes with it, is that it's kind of weird, sad that Police Academy has become reality now. This is the problem. See, the cops are getting more of a bad name because of some of the bad cops, because they're just letting anybody in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Well, if we can't go there, but we know why that happened, eh? What happened in the last few years that drove the... Never mind. Different show.
Rowan of Strata for $10. It's a shame that officer was being so goofy. In a more wholesome world, that scenario would have been a real-life awkward rom-com plot or a great story for the grandkids.
That's why I thought it was set up. I thought it was fake until he told me it was from Midwest. And then I'm like, I guess it is real. Never mind. Okay. So
what the cop should have done is when she held up her arm, he should have said, free to go. Just free to go. I am...
at that point, you obviously didn't see what you thought you saw.
Get me out of this situation as fast as I can get out. I'd never want this body cam footage. Ma'am, you're free to go. I apologize. And walk back to the car.
I'm just going to say, he is going to get ribbed by every member of his department forever.
As well he should.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this too. There was a Midwest Safety video one time where the cop that had been featured 6 months ago was fired from there, whatever, and was brought back, at a different location, and was featured again. And they kept putting up the maybe it wasn't Midwest Safety, maybe it was a different one, but they kept putting up, the info on the chart saying, see the prior video where this cop screwed up. And I was like, boy, it's a bad day for this person.
That's the thing. There's almost like a lore starting to build within this whole thing now, because you do have some of these people that showing up in multiple different places,
right?
And stuff like that. So
and the crazy people who get arrested too. It's her again.
Yep.
Well, it's kind of weird. I was just going to say, because the reality TV thing is coming back with a big boom. Did you see the trailer for the new Chris Hansen movie with Twilight Boy in it?
I didn't see it. No,
you didn't. Oh gosh, yeah, they're doing the movie about his whole have a seat stuff.
I'm just loving the idea that we're going to get multiple channels and multiple episodes of Tom's Porch. Maybe we can get a new channel made out of this. We're back on Tom's porch. She's back
I just
again, the
got it from
naked
the
lady.
inside, so they got the other angle.
Tom's peering through the window. Not you again.
I was like,
Is it a raccoon or the naked lady?
And I made sure when she got up, I was nice, and I put the camera down so you don't see your bare butt.
El Shaddai is Lord, member for 11. Okay, you are the best chill that does this.
We try.
Well, just wait till
Thank
you
you.
try his chili. Michael Cooley for 5. Is the rumor true that Disney is going to merge with Bricks and Minifigs? Bricks and Minifigs, is that a specific shop?
Next up, Lincoln Logs. The merger is happening.
I think Disney has a good relationship with Lego right now, so it would be interesting for them to.
What's the new thing they have out now? I saw.
You're talking about the Magna tiles?
Maybe, I don't know. But
Are you talking about the smart brick?
Maybe, like, I don't know. They keep trying to do these things with like the Infinifigures they did for a while, and then now I see another thing at the store where it's another thing you got to buy. And it connects to something else. It's like
we all need to go back to Tinker Toys. I say if the toy can't permanently damage your eye, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
It needs laser beams.
The smart bricks do sounds according to what you're playing with, and I feel like that's kind of the opposite of the philosophy of Lego personally.
So do the Tinker Toys if you jab it in the right location. They make lots of sounds.
Yay! Hell Devil for 5.
Legos do too when you step on them.
Right, Lenny. My eye! I'm not supposed to get pudding in it.
Rule number 73 in life.
Yep. Detail Devil for $5. Mandalorian Grogu plus A New Hope and Starfighter give Disney Pyrrhic win unless they sell or partner Lucasfilm to party with flexibility to revitalize IP. Zaslav did Min 2 paper over Warner Brothers, etc. Problem sold at peak. Okay, so I think what you're saying is that Lucasfilm needs to do third party. And I agree with you if that's what you're saying. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. You gave me something to translate here. I'm just going to say that. Disney properties do better in other people's hands because they're generally going to people that are not as beholden to the corporate system. Disney in Fortnite is probably going to get Star Wars more interest than anything else. My kids are actually asking to watch Star Wars now because of Fortnite Droid Tycoon. So it wasn't the Mandalorian and Grogu that did that.
So it's a gateway drug.
Exactly. My kid is also looking forward to a brain rot movie as well. So, take that for what it's worth.
Just keep them off the Roblox.
Ah, man, never with Roblox. So you got a point there, Detail Devil. Packing Protons for 5. New challenge. How much to make Lorne shave his head? It's for the children's. I don't think Lorne will do any kind of
You'll scare the
modification
children
of himself.
Lorne, I think you're wrong. Culture's the one who's afraid to shave, the beard fully. Lorne has no trepidation. The man knows he will grow back a full head of hair instantly.
Let's make Culture shave his head, not his beard.
Oh, Culture has the best hair of any man of his age I have ever seen.
That
I don't
would
know.
kill him. He would be so upset.
He's like Samson.
It is. I think so. And I'm not kidding. I think he might actually.
He's like a tiny Fabio.
Keel over.
Choppy for 50 Swedish crowns. Money-making idea for Star Wars shows about generations before the first prequel. Teens doing kenjutsu with lightsabers to do explorative hero quests. Yeah, as long as the current crop of creatives at Lucasfilm doesn't have anything to do with it, because it's going to be a bunch of they-thems, and
Yep, and remember too that it was Mangold that wanted to do the movie about the origins of the Jedi, and didn't last long before we heard, it's just like Rian Johnson's trilogy, gone too soon.
Right. Well, like the fact that Sean Levy is working on something for Netflix as soon as Starfighter is done.
Yep, instantly gone.
Right. And Leslie Headland had her next gigs outside of Star Wars lined up before Acolyte was done. Of course, that was a long runway up to that coming out, but still, it seems like Lucasfilm has more a revolving door than they used to have. That's a complicated statement, easily refuted if you go for actual successfully released projects. It's a different metric there.
Well, people used to make fun of me on Friday Night Tights for saying it all the time, but it was kind of a joke, but it's true. I said that Kathleen Kennedy has fired more people than she's hired.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've had more announced projects that have never came to be than we have actually gotten out of Star Wars in the end. it's crazy how many. It's like, you go back through the, like, what was that? At one point, I think there was like 9 or 10 announced projects, like actually announced projects that have not happened.
Right, and then Guillermo del Toro pops out with the, oh yeah, I had a Jabba the Hutt movie,
and he was going to play Jabba the Hutt.
Instead, he played the father of the, what is it, the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia people. Forget about it. John's for $5. Bricks and Minifigs is becoming infamous right now because they ripped off an 80-year-old veteran, allegedly kept his Lego set. The company changed hands and they had a massive order, like $100,000 order or something like that they never fulfilled when the company changed hands. Yeah, this is why Bricks and Minifigs was in the news recently, right? And now we're not reporting on the story, so nobody sue me if I've said this incorrectly. But yeah, they need to fulfill whatever that order is. I don't know if they accounted for that in the purchase price of the company, But when you're talking about 6 figures worth of Legos, yeah.
Wow, 6 figures of Legos?
Yeah. Well, 6 in probably more than that in minifigures.
Gonna miss a brick.
Yep. Joppy for 200 Swedish crowns. Emphasis on Kujutsu and explorative hero quests, such as taking the level of sword fights by Ewan and Hayden by cocky teens just 20 to 30 years before the first prequel, with a typical mix of guys and girls, no girl boss. So they kind of did a little bit of this in Clone Wars, but animated sword fights don't hit as hard as Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen actually trying to whack each other with big metal lightsabers.
And if you have excellent choreography, lightsabers are a terrific medium in the kind of TV environment we're in right now, where you've got the HDR. There's so many cool things you could do. They just don't do it for some reason.
Right. They're in the low end. Like Arrow was on a bit of a decline at a certain point in that show, but the stunt crew, I think, knew each other really well and knew how to get the best out of their scenes from an action standpoint. But they don't seem to do that kind of stuff anymore. The fight scenes don't make any sense in Star Wars anymore. DEFCON Prime for 2. Irwin Mainway toys are we need today. It's an SNL reference. The best toy reference I've ever seen on SNL was the invisible pedestrian costume that Aykroyd's character was trying to sell, and it's literally just a black bag.
It's a great idea.
Yep. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Hey, for $10, Harambe gave his life 10 years ago today so that Tom could keep collecting physical media. Rest well, Harambe. And Tom, I think, has fulfilled that quite well.
And remember, folks, we gave our moment for Harambe at the beginning of the show today, and what a world we live in, where the White House is doing that. And then Nintendo, smart enough to schedule Donkey Kong 64 to come out on the 10th anniversary of Harambe. Did they do it on purpose? We don't know. But go, Nintendo, go.
DEFCON Prime for 5. Adapt Dark Horse Comics Star Wars Legacy somehow, and there is your new lore, and adapt Vector to connect all times, not flipping time travel.
Sounds cool to me. Lauren Connor is the guy we would need to weigh in on whether that's good or bad. He knows this stuff inside and out, but it sounds to me, I mean, I'm up for it. Better than High Republic.
Bruce Newhouse for $2. Pro's second reveal will be removing the sunglasses.
Mm.
He's got one of those red Terminator eyes.
There are second set of shades underneath.
DEFCON Prime for 5. Dan Aykroyd as Irwin sold absurdly unsafe toys like Bag of Glass. Okay, so this was that same bit. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Bag of Glass, Johnny Switchblade Adventure Punk, and Teddy Chainsaw Bear. Hilarious.
Love it.
My favorite was the Crazy Eddie commercial where he goes, and how do we afford such abysmal prices, or whatever it was, because I'm not Crazy Eddie. And then the commercial goes off. So,
and of course you can find all those items at Spatula City. Not really. Yeah. All right, folks, we've got one more story in the docket. We're going to rock it. We had more planned. I'll tell you what we missed today, and you can go look these up on your own. We'll probably cover them, though, in the days to come. Stan Lee's voice being used for AI. And meanwhile, James Earl Jones, who signed a contract with Disney and would make his family very rich if they used him, Suddenly they don't want to use James Earl Jones for Darth Vader. So what's going on there? Is it a case of elder abuse? Really? We'll talk about that in the days to come. And then Disney has cast someone, shall we say, a controversial musician in Toy Story 5, but not a peep, not a squeak from the mouse about it. Kristen, did you know that Disney has hired Bad Bunny? That Bad Bunny is in Toy Story 5?
Yeah, I just heard about that. I mean, that's just going to be a quickie. That's just a getting attention kind of a thing. So
I think, Christian, they did that, though, thinking the Super Bowl was going to be a big hit. He would have been signed up before then, and they could tag that name on to the list. They've got Conan O'Brien. They've got so many others who are doing this.
Yeah.
But I don't think that panned out because I think the halftime show ratings didn't pan out. So it's kind of like, we got Bad Bunny.
Yeah, and that's such that property is just going to make mint money. So I know.
Yep.
And if he's not playing a stuffed bunny, then I don't even know why they're trying.
He's a slice of pizza, Tom. He's a slice of pizza. So if there's a Ninja Turtle toy nearby, it could be over for Bad Bunny.
I like turtles.
We do too. But yeah, Toy Story 5. I would bet on $1 billion for Toy Story 5. In fact, if it doesn't make $1 billion, we'll be here talking about what's going on with Toy Story. Why did it make $1 billion?
That's what I wonder if it will, Pro. That's what I'm curious about because there's no real buzz around it, and I don't mean to be punny. No. And there was a lot of people who did not like part 4, and you even have like people like Quentin Tarantino who came out against it, right?
Yeah.
Like he talks about how would you mess with a perfect trilogy? This doesn't make any sense to me.
The crazy thing on Toy Story 5 is Jonas, how long is it until Minions comes out after Toy Story 5?
Oh, I don't know. I know that I'll probably
it's not
be
long.
seeing Minions in theaters.
I think the kids
Toy
are
Story,
see
I'm not
that.
so sure.
It's not long, you know. So what Disney should have done?
Minions. Yeah.
What Disney should have done is they should have put Toy Story 5 on the Memorial Day weekend release, not Mando.
Yep.
So I can't argue with them on Devil Wears Prada 2. Whatever they did there, that worked. That worked big time. So I'm not going to criticize. All right, folks, it's time. Let's dive into the final story we've got up for you. I hope you're going to adore it. It is one we've been waiting for now for 3 days trying to cover it. Here we go. Let's talk about Disney World and Disneyland. It's an attraction that lost lines that people were disinclined to see after it switched over to Mando. Well, ladies and gentlemen, usually when a movie is made into a ride and when there's a new ride at Disney, people get excited. In fact, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was just redone at Disney World. It had lines for like 2 hours for days. It did away with some other stuff and brought back, these new additions to things. And you'll have nonstop Instagram and TikToks. And you can't break through the influencers with their gimbals to get on the ride. But that didn't happen last weekend as The Mandalorian released and Disney released a brand new ride based on the character and Baby Yoda. For that park place, Disney's Parks' new Mandalorian Smuggler's Ride retheme sees low wait times on opening weekend. Now, I don't remember the last time that a new ride came about and the lines actually went down. In fact, you might have to go all the way back to something like Journey of Imagination 2.0 to get there. And we're talking about decades. Disney clearly hoped the launch of the new Mandalorian Grogu mission inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Smuggler's Run would generate fresh excitement around the franchise. Instead, the rollout appears to have landed with a shrug. The updated Mando version of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run officially launched over Memorial Day weekend at both Disneyland Park in Anaheim and Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, but the attraction failed to produce the kinds of crowds typically associated with a Disney Parks debut. Now, I believe in this article, we've got pictures of what happens typically. We're going to go down and see if we can grab that. Here's what it looked like when Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, no IP associated, reopened. You couldn't get to the ride. And the same thing is true for Rock and Roller Coaster. The Muppets kicked out Steven Tyler and his Aerosmith crew, and guess what? Massive wait times to get over there. But on the same weekend, friends, on the same weekend that the movie opened, well, the box office might not be so strange. 35-minute wait, and we've got the timestamp here. Memorial Day. At 10 a.m., 35-minute wait, and we saw times low as 25 minutes on some of the premium times where you would expect to see, hours. None of that came to be. None of that came to be. Now, less people say, "Oh, Pro, you're making too much of this. This is not real."
No. This is abysmal.
Well, we've done our research. We have the data. Are you prepared, folks? Look what we've got out of Thrill Data that combines all of this info together. This line up here is the predicted time, this dotted line. It may be a little difficult to see, but we'll walk you through it. This dotted line is the expected wait time for the ride in this time of year, based on the previous years when it was a very crappy ride based on what, Jonas? A cartoon, a Star Wars cartoon?
Yep.
Okay. And you ride
Hondo Anaka?
Yeah, Hondo Anaka. Who knows who that is? Nobody does. And what you do, congratulations. Way to go.
I like Jim Cummings, but yeah, this is not the standout character of the Clone Wars.
We love Jim Cummings. Oh, bother. But this is the wait time that they expected based on the past years of this very subpar ride. The reason they upgraded it is because it's a subpar ride. And these blue dots here are the actual wait times that they've experienced since this ride took over. Okay? So, and guess what? You might say, well, Pro, that's Disney World. That's not Disneyland. Maybe we don't see that with Disneyland, right? Okay? Folks, get ready. I mean, we got data for days over here. These are the months leading up to Mando taking over. You can see that we had an average wait time of, I believe, 39 minutes. That's right. For March. For April, we had an average wait time of 40 minutes, again at Disneyland. Mando comes in May, and the wait time actually drops. Now, that should not be possible because, again, if we go back to the article, look at what it appears to be when you open any new ride at a Disney park. You can't get there. And yet on the same day that, and we've got, see, here's the 25-minute. Let's see what the timestamp is. May 23rd at 3 p.m., it had a 25-minute wait time. This is awful. Jonas, I'm going to go to you first on this one. I think this is the most definitive proof we have that Mandalorian and Grogu in Star Wars are toast, and I mean it. Nobody cared. The lines actually decreased. That's crazy that the lines actually went down as the movie was opened. Your thoughts, sir?
Okay, so first of all, I need to give credit to Ivan from Park Hopping with an apostrophe, not a G, for sending me the Disneyland version of this, and Marvin for being at the parks to spot what happened here. It was difficult to tell that this had opened the next day when we got the Disney World number, but it was that screen cap for Disneyland was the morning that the ride had opened. Millennium Falcon, sorry, let me do the full bit here. Star Wars Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, A New Mission is
there more?
That is the entire title for the ride.
Okay.
Like,
Just checking.
Thank you, marketers, for ruining.
I want to make sure we get it right.
It's Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Only Hagrid's is better because it's a fun one to say, as opposed to just remembering three different intellectual property.
Next time, if they want to add on Chewie's Revenge, I mean, we're totally game for that.
Now that actually sounds like a great name for a ride, honestly. Which is, if you aren't prepared for dairy, the other Chewies might get revenge on you. So, anyways, let's get back on topic here. This ride is the worst ride that Disney has ever made in recent memory.
Okay. I mean, it's really bad, but I mean, it's not the worst ride they've ever made.
Well, think about it and see if you can come up with one.
There is Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Jonas.
Well, Tiana's Bayou Adventure has the bones of a better ride underneath it.
Okay, true that.
There's at least the fact that they still have the Splash Mountain ride underneath it.
It's a horrible ride. I agree.
Right. So this one it's a video game. So it's a simulator, and it is controlled by two people. One has the up and down on the Millennium Falcon. One has the left and right. One person sits in the back and has a button to hit the guns, and one person has the engineer seat, which is to hit a button to essentially do nothing, but they want you to have a button. It is a bad version of Star Tours, and it is. There is no reason for this ride to exist. They wanted to have a Millennium Falcon ride, and that is the only reason that this exists. It is a video game attraction, which is the worst kind of attraction. Video games do not belong in the park. And also, this should have interest because it's Star Wars and the Millennium Falcon.
Whoa. I like Toy Story Mania. It's a video game, okay?
Well, that's different because everyone has the same experience on Toy Story Mania.
Okay. I mean, it's a bad ride, but Jonas, here's the deal. It was a bad ride before. They switched it out with new characters for a movie release, and nobody showed up.
Right. No one, because
Nobody
no one
came.
cares about this property. Because again, I'm going to go back to the same thing that I say every time. Star Wars is not a theme park property. This is this looks cool for Instagram or whatever, but no one goes into Star Wars land and thinks, "Wow, I'm in Star Wars." They think, how am I in war-torn Afghanistan?" This is not something that belongs in a theme park. This is like saying, "Oh, I'm going to enter the Hunger Games." Like, you're in a bad spot if you end up in this. You are in the poorest part of the galaxy. What are you going to see? Maybe a slaver, maybe oppression. I don't know. This is not the part of Star Wars that I want to be a part of. Tatooine, maybe I could be a scoundrel. What's it going to be? The Jedi Temple. Okay, I can be a Jedi. This is some random backwater planet. And who fantasizes about this? So then you can also get on the Millennium Falcon after Han Solo died, and you can have a couple of kids pilot the vehicle while you just sit in the back and get sick. There is nothing
you can push
about
a button.
that other than you can say
There is a
fly
button.
the Millennium Falcon, but it's the worst possible way to say you're going to fly the Millennium Falcon.
Jonas
Back to the button.
Jonas did not get to push the button. I can clearly tell he was positioned away from the button. The man has button envy.
I dislike this ride. I would rather ride Fast and Furious Supercharged than ride this with other people.
The other thing that we need to bring to mind is that, and Christian, I don't know if you've even seen this, but we'll throw it to you. I think you can hit it out of the park regardless. They threw serious marketing at this ride. This is not like, we did this in the dead of night. They put Pedro, Sigourney, Filoni, Favreau, after the premiere, they sent them over to Disneyland and recorded this for the debut so that the day of, people would see this all over social media. Christian, I think this speaks to just how underwhelming the response is to Pedro. I don't think audiences care. I don't think people care. I don't think he's the internet's daddy, as they told us. None of these people have influence. Nobody went to go see the ride.
We're in a post-Pedro world, apparently.
Oh!
Also, I'm glad to see Sigourney Weaver's face move, because obviously she can act and emote. I just didn't see it in the movie.
It's better, Christian. It's better in this promo than in the movie
by leaps and bounds. This is what you call anti-synergy, where you get actually a sucking sound instead of actually people getting to. I had thought of many reasons why I enjoy being on the show is this kind of information should be in the Hollywood Reporter. I mean, they're talking about the movie, its cultural footprint. Then these things matter. This is a great snapshot of a bigger problem. And they're not going to talk about it. They're going to say, well, it's #1 in Ireland. So clearly the Mandalorian is back.
Oh, we're waiting for our next Disneyland over here. If only they build us one. Christian, I have to thank you. I never put that together, that this is better acting from Sigourney Weaver than in the movie, because the movie is bad. The movie, it's her worst ever.
It's her worst ever. I love her. She's great. She's an icon. She would have to do another take to say that she slept through the role.
I'm convinced they didn't even tell her what she was. They just gave her a page to read and look in the camera.
Yeah. Again, this is Jon Favreau. This is not, some hack director. This is a main director with a legendary star who can't even summon any energy to be in a movie.
We found out that Dave Filoni was in charge of directing some of the parts of it, in particular where they had the puppets. I don't know if I'm not going to excuse this from anybody, but maybe Favreau was sick that day. Maybe he had food poisoning. I don't know, but how we got the awfulness that is Sigourney Weaver's performance, it's beyond me. Yeah. But the performance of the ride might actually be worse, folks. See that segue? See what we did there? That's professionalism. We try anyway. The ride actually decreased wait times with a new movie out, with a new ride changed, still managed to be less than. You'd have thought you'd have seen lines for 2 hours. Instead, it was 25 minutes.
I'm gonna throw one more thing in here.
Please.
Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster just dropped a retheme. It's essentially the same ride, but they did a good job with the retheme from everything that we can tell, and the wait times went up. So this isn't a park problem. This is a very specific problem to this horrible attraction.
So here's my final thought. And anybody on the panel who'd like to weigh in, I'd love to have your thoughts on this. If we've invested all this money into Galaxy's Edge, and they have, if we've given it some of the most primo real estate for theme parks in the world, and they have, especially at Disneyland, They're trying to get away from the sequel trilogy by going to the Mandoverse. We saw what happened when they put Luke, Leia, and Han in. They're not part of the Mandoverse. They're the original trilogy characters. We saw that you could not get into the park. It was shoulder to shoulder, even with terrible casting, awful wigs. It was embarrassing. Didn't matter. People showed up in California, where that shouldn't be happening, right? They love the sequels. They don't like the originals. If Mando is this bad, how much longer until they just give up on that as well and say, okay, fine, whatever. You want those crusty, cobwebbed characters from the 70s? Fine. And maybe come February with this, with the re-release of the 77 cut of the original Star Wars, maybe this is when they just say, fine, we hate it, we don't want it, but you want Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Yoda, R2, C-3PO, you want Lando, whatever. We'll just put them in the parks then, and maybe they give up. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, well, actually, no, because Pedro Pascal said he wants to keep playing Mandalorian indefinitely. So
until his body gives out.
Yeah, whatever.
As a voice artist,
who would want to give up that gig? He just doesn't literally show up for maybe like a 5-minute cameo.
Did you see, Christian, that he probably made up more than $5 million off this, and the guy, John Wayne's grandson, is out doing interviews saying, "Well, I'm super grateful, but they didn't pay me hardly anything." And he's the guy in the suit the majority of the time.
I mean, I think Pedro's a pretty progressive actor. I'm sure he split the money evenly.
You would think so, right? Socialist Pedro, you'd think he would go there. But, sometimes it turns out that actors don't really believe what they say they believe behind the scenes. It's crazy that way. I am told by our intrepid producer, Jonas J. Campbell, that, Jonas, what did we do?
We have hit the goal.
We hit the goal? Seriously?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Wow,
I need to thank
50.
I need to thank the mods, specifically Juliet, for helping us keep track of that.
All right. As we continue, by the way, Jonas, to have more than 1,300 folks joining us for the show, and we do thank every single one of you. More than 1,000 on YouTube, but more than 1,300 combined with X, and it's a great pleasure and honor to have all of you join us. You are seen, appreciated, and heard right here on the Pro Show.
Yep.
Jonas, to the screen.
Johns for 5. I thought the James Earl Jones thing was because the AI creating his voice became super racist and on PC. It was on a gaming channel a few months ago.
That was Fortnite.
Yeah, that was perhaps they thought that was being a bit unfair. No, they baited that AI into saying all kinds of things that really should not have been said by James Earl Jones. It's one good thing about the internet is everyone knows that the AI malfunctioned, as opposed to, if this was in the 90s, they'd have to release a huge statement. So, Christian Coriejo for 5. If Lucasfilm was smart, they would hire YouTubers to create the next Star Wars film. Which YouTubers would you personally recommend for such a project? I would actually like to see what Star Wars Theory does with it.
Yep, and I knew you would say that, and I would volunteer EBN as well, Echo Base Network. Throw them in, and Lauren Connor. We'll volunteer. We will sacrifice here. It will hurt us deeply, but I will give up 3 months of Lauren Connor so he can straighten out Star Wars. By the way, folks,
you think that's all it's going to take?
For Lauren's got this. He could do it in 12 minutes. By the way, folks, Q&A session is on the way for hitting the Super Chat goal. Type in the letters Q and A. That's Q ampersand A in the chat. Then send us your question. We'll get the first 12, and we'll answer them after the Super Chats.
Did you say ampersand again?
Maybe. Send in your tildes, please. Figure out which one that one is, Jonas.
There was a moment with Geeks and Gamers Daily with the pronunciation of that being ampersand. And I can't ampersand it. Teddy D for 5, 4, and then for 5 more, and go.
Thank you, Teddy D. We appreciate you indeed. And I say we play one more for Fitty.
Oh, here we go. It's time to party. It's time to live it up.
It's time to live it up. It's time to party.
All right. Red arrow on my screen. Tay-Tay for $2. Hey, Tay-Tay. I hope you're doing all right. First Dragon Queen for 5. First July Minions. The Dark Horse comics of Star Wars also brought Palpatine back Palpatine before Disney, except they did more storytelling to explain it. Yeah, they did get into the idea of a clone being the reason. So when they end up having the somehow Palpatine returned, there was explanations of that before.
Yep. By the way, we had to say goodbye to Christian from the Hollywood in Toto. Christian Toto will return, not during this show though, but he had to make a quick run. And just let everybody know, go over to hollywoodintoto.com, the website, check out what he's up to, as well as the podcast. Want to thank him for sticking around. I didn't realize we'd pushed beyond his deadline when he had to go. So we always try to be polite. And in this case, no time for an outro. That's on your Pal Pro for going a little bit over what he was available for.
Yep. Packing Protons for 5. Oh, by the way, before we say that, Toy Story 5 is June 19th, otherwise known as Juneteenth. And Minions is July 1st. So I think the 4th of July weekend is going to do really well for Minions and Toy Story. That could be $1 billion movie very, very easily. Packing Protons for 5. Now I'm wondering, how do I know if my YouTube channel has a view limiting glitch too? Man, if we're talking about whatever happened around here, there's no replicating what we were able to.
Yeah, we were told it was the only time they had ever seen it, and we think it was exceedingly rare. I don't want to go into detail about what it was, but I'll just say that we were aware something was very strange for about 6 months, and YouTube finally agreed with us, fixed it, and immediately things changed dramatically.
Yep.
But it was very strange.
It was your face.
No!
Yeah. Teddy D for $5. 2 more to go. Thank you very much, Teddy. And Johns says for 5. Antissa. See, I didn't get this before because all I saw was the patient. Thank you very much.
Patient. Thank you. And folks, we just got our final Q&A in. Dogepal just sent in the last one. We've got 12. We'll answer them in just a minute.
Yep. J Light Lady for $5. Happy Pro Day, everyone. Thank you very much, Ms. Light
Well,
Lady.
thank you. It's J Light Lady Day. I hope tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Sailor Slayer for 5. Californian had a chemical leak near Disney this weekend. Probably hurt numbers all around the park. Disney had to release a statement to say, we're aware of it. You can still show up to the parks.
We're still open. Come on in.
Exactly. Poke Pro Place member for 2. Hey, Pro, are you Puerto Rican? Anyway, Godspeed.
I'm not Puerto Rican, pero yo puedo hablar español cuando es necesario. Muchísimas gracias.
See, Johns for 5. Whoa, she looks like a female Michael Myers in that clip with the green light on her face. Which one are we talking about?
We talking about Cynthia. I bet John is back in time a little bit, not caught up live and watching Cynthia. Maybe.
I think maybe Sigourney Weaver had a.
It's Sigourney. You're right. I underestimated the power of John. You're right. That's Sigourney. In fact, she's still going. We've still got her showing. Let's see if she turns green. Sigourney, you going to turn green for? Oh, yep. It's not great lighting, is it? You are exact. Oh, that is not great lighting. But how could you fix it? Honestly, how could you fix it?
I mean, she looks. I like Sigourney Weaver. Unfortunately, in this role, it just looks like she's Sigourney Weaver playing herself. And it's the same thing with Jack Black showing up in Mandalorian season 3 and Lizzo showing up in season 3 and Christopher Lloyd. I don't know about Lizzo's acting ability, but Christopher Lloyd has played people who are not Christopher Lloyd on screen. Jack Black has played people who are not Jack Black on screen. But when you show up in The Mandalorian with flat lighting and not deep characters, you're just showing up as yourself.
Whoa, Jonas, are you ready for Q&A?
I'm yeah, sure.
Were you born ready for Q&A?
No, I was not. I had to be
folks. The Q&A is coming from us as a thank you because you all helped us hit the goal again today. The dream to stream comes true because of you, and we appreciate it. Let's get started. Thank you for keeping the hamsters on the wheel.
Hamsters
Jonas?
take the wheel. Oh,
Jonas, did you take the spotlight?
I did not. It was the hamsters. There you go.
All right, what do we got?
All right, big fella. Q&A. How far can Lorne drop?
What's wrong? What's wrong? Are you tiny little Jonas now? After you came into the show at the beginning and were huge.
I am a man. Anyway, how far can
All right, what do we got?
Get Filoni's hat? You know, I've never seen Lorne's soccer ability or football. For those of you in the international areas.
Yeah, I don't know either. Lorne on a drop kick. I've seen Lorne go hiking. I've seen Lorne run, but never do a drop kick. We've got to find out how high can his foot go? Could he take off the hat of Filoni? Also, Filoni is not a tall man, so there's a chance that it would not be quite the task as we may first imagine.
Mm-hmm. Binkon says, "What can tomorrow do to save Star Wars?"
Immediately order that they retcon the sequel trilogy through the World Between Worlds, if that's what they want to do. I don't care how they do it, but do it. And go back to the time after the Return of the Jedi, recast Luke, and do a trilogy about Luke being cool. You don't have to have the other original trilogy characters. That would be awesome. Put him with Mara Jade. Do whatever you got to do. He's training Jedi. But you got to get rid of this. It's killing you. It's a multi-billion-dollar millstone around their necks.
Yeah, I think that they need to give Filoni a very short leash for a brief period of time in order to avoid the changing CEO's problem, and then get someone in there to run the studio that is fully capable of running both sides of an actual film and VFX house.
Yep.
Lucas was a visionary in filmmaking, and Dave Filoni is a guy who likes Star Wars a lot. Magically MJ, hey MJ, how do you hold your composure when you sing? When I sing, I move my arms and my hands, but you sit so still. Amazing. Here, I'm going to show you. I'm singing, and I'm here, and I'm singing. Very still. It's practice.
Get him out.
All right.
Sorry, it's what they say. The next line. Oh no! I'm sorry. He says.
Usually they just put my name into Jingle Bells or something.
That was weird. Then he says that line. Then he says, "Get him out." Yep.
I think He-Man is going to do great internationally. What do you guys think? I hope so. I would like for that movie to do well.
Here's the deal. Until we see He-Man, I can't tell you how it's going to do, because I am told that it's not at all woke. The marketing says it's woke. There is a chasm that exists between if it's woke and if it's not woke. A total chasm. I mean, we're talking about the difference between Toy Story 4 and Lightyear chasm. Until I know what's in the film, I can't tell you how it's going to do at the box office. But the marketing is doing no favors. Hey, Tom. Look at that.
We meet again for the first time, He-Man. What did you say? I said we meet again for the first time, He-Man. Did you understand him? I didn't understand the thing he said.
Evil.
Skeletor. Now that sounds like Skeletor, but that's not who this guy is.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
I started a cult on an island. You what? I started a cult on an island. Did we hire Bane for this job or what? I don't understand. Why are you so small?
I feel like at any moment, Bat Tom is going to show up.
Should I?
He was ready.
Let me tell you something about this movie. It's gonna suck.
Who made Bat Tom for you?
This was made by the toy master Andy Masterson.
That is awesome.
I am the Bat Tom.
It even kind of jiggles up and down a little bit as you shake. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Wow.
I wish this movie was going to be good, but it's nothing but a meme. Nothing but a meme.
And I still can't understand why Adam exists. Like, everybody knows Adam is He-Man, but He-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I could recite the entire intro to the Filmation series. And specifically, it says only 3 people know his secret. Orko, Man-at-Arms, and it wasn't Tila, yeah.
Which, of course, Kevin Smith went off on that one for his whole Tila series.
But they've definitely made him into a himbo from all the clips I've seen so far, and they're trying to lean into the memes.
Is this going to be as bad as Ghostbusters 2016, Chris Hemsworth?
I don't know if it'll be that bad, but it's going to be like Thor: Love and Blunder.
I hope not. I'm hoping more.
And most people won't care. And most people won't care. The only ones that will care are going to be people within my age group, are going to be like, this is not He-Man. I know this is what people think He-Man is. Right? This is kind of, it's going to be basically TMNT Mutant Mayhem all over again for me.
Yeah.
Because my review of that was, this is what my parents thought Ninja Turtles was.
Right.
That wasn't what Ninja Turtles was, it's what they perceived it as. So
Tom, I still want you and me to get to make a turtle movie.
That would be amazing, but
we could do it.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, this is good.
T-Man.
Defcon Prime asks, have you ever seen Star Wars anime Visions? Yes. They're hit or miss. Some of them are good, and some of them are a little too artistic for my tastes.
I saw them briefly. I didn't watch anywhere near the total amount of content.
Mm-hmm. This is also the case for me that Star Wars in the hands of people outside of Lucasfilm might be the best path forward. Randy Thodo, will the George Lucas Museum be a success?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And the one in the future that's actually dedicated to him himself will be too.
Yeah. I think that George Lucas is bigger than Star Wars, and I think that's a struggle that he personally has probably had to deal with his entire life, which led him to sell Star Wars at one point. But Juliet, favorite holiday place for holidays outside USA? Ooh.
Favorite holiday place? So I'm assuming we're talking about vacays, not special days, because that can be lost in translation for those watching. So we're talking about favorite place to go for a vacay outside of the USA.
I don't regularly travel outside the United States. I have traveled
But
outside
when
of the
he
United
does,
States. There are some amazing places in the area around France, in Paris, France specifically. I had a lovely Mother's Day trip to Sacré-Cœur. Unfortunately, some of the touristy elements, by touristy elements, I mean people trying to scam tourists, made it difficult, but amazing time in Paris.
I really like it in terms of Europe, anywhere in the Alps. I love the Alps. Switzerland is just amazing. I mean, really, really amazing. I don't remember the name of the falls in southern Chile.
Schweitzer?
No. But the south of Santiago, there's you get into these national parks with all these waterfalls. That is a really cool place in the world. And so I'll throw that out there. And, I know that people say you got to go to Australia, you got to go to New Zealand. If you're outside the U.S., those are the places to check out. And I would say, too, we're going to get a report from some of our good friends out there and colleagues who are enjoying Japan. And we're looking forward to having Kara back real soon to help us with scheduling and everything here. But we hope she's having a great time, and we look forward to finding out what they've been up to.
Man, I would love to go to Japan sometime. Tom, do you want to weigh in on this one?
Sadly, I've never even been to Canada. I know I'm not that far away, but no.
The Canadians say that's not sad anymore, Tom.
I know, right? But no, they don't want me there. I've never been outside the U.S., but if I could, I would probably love to visit Hawaii. I hear that's beautiful. Wait a minute, that is the U.S. Never mind. Honestly, I would love to see Norway just so I can hang out with Andre, see where he comes from and stuff like that. I'd love to see Ireland and the UK.
I'll tell you too.
I'd love to go to the tropical. Anything tropical would be awesome, like Bahamas or something too.
People sometimes misunderstand when Americans say that they've not been outside the U.S. It's kind of like a European saying, "Well, I've been to all these countries, but I've never been outside of Europe." The United States, for those who aren't inside the United States, you have to remember that every state is essentially like its own country,
almost. And I was just
with its own rules. Yeah.
As when we met this summer, like that trip for me, it was like going through several different countries, right? It was such a different culture everywhere I went, through every state. And it was really cool to, not only hang out with Mikey and Nick down in South Carolina, but then to hang out with you guys real quick up in
and Tom, you also got to enjoy the sounds of the coqui, the frogs. No, it's not really coqui, but the frogs that are all around Mikey's house, right?
Oh, I loved it there. It was beautiful. And it was almost like a completely different country to me.
Right.
I'm from Wisconsin, where we can get all four seasons in one day, but like down there, it's just gorgeous. Like it was just every day was beautiful. And I'd never been to the ocean before. So to me, it was a completely different experience. And I've also been to Vegas. That was like a whole nother world.
Oh wow!
Right? And I didn't even really get to experience much.
Why was I not there? Tom in Vegas is like that's a movie.
Something that's going to happen again. Trust me, because Tom did not get to have a lot of fun because Tom was pent up dealing with a bunch of prima donnas at the hotel.
This is the fourth Hangover movie, just waiting to be made.
You better believe it, Buster.
That's the cleanest way Tom has ever said. I'm going back to Vegas.
Very well behaved. Extremely well behaved.
Have you seen the anime Star Wars Visions from the 90s? No, I have not.
No, did not.
Know this existed. Is this like an AI generated thing to say that it was 90s style, or is this a real thing? Huh. Okay.
Unless he's talking. No, I was gonna say that was the 2000s too. The Genndy Tartakovsky.
Oh man,
Clone Wars. But
I'd love to see that.
Man,
what a I don't want to say a wasted talent, but I want him to come back to Disney and do a Three Little Pigs movie in whatever style he would want to do. I think that would actually be awesome. That's what I want Disney to do.
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down.
We'll see how each one of the pigs is a warrior in some way.
I always love the voice of the wolf in the original one.
One is more keen than the other, but one is tougher than the other, and the last one is smart and tough.
Yep. 12 to 18 months from now, do you think Filoni is still in charge at Lucasfilm? I think he's got the position. Whether or not he's in charge is a completely different question.
I don't know that he's in charge right now. Alan Bergman may have taken over.
That would be the best, honestly. For the best. Not the best, but for the best. O2RR, has Anaheim's Disneyland actually surpassed Orlando's Magic Kingdom now in overall quality and park experience?
Yes.
Ooh.
And I'm not sure that there are people out there who would say that it had never fallen to Magic Kingdom, but it is definitely superior right now to Magic Kingdom in Orlando.
Yeah. Let's see here. Doge Bowell, in the light of Pete Docter getting rid of therapy movie, is there a chance that Toy Story 5 could actually be good? Yeah,
there is.
Yeah. It's being directed by Andrew Stanton, and Andrew Stanton is a great director of Pixar films.
Yep. There's a solid chance it's a good movie. We shall see. There's a solid chance that it's Incredibles 2, which I hated. We shall see.
Right. If you have a movie from the director of WALL-E about technology use and its effect on kids, I think that has a possibility of being a good movie. Whether or not they just want to sell a bunch of Toy Story toys and set up a bunch of merch drops for Disney.
I'm going to say again, though, the obvious script to this was Andy has kids and he's trying to find his toys so that his kids can play with his childhood toys. And he gets to play with Andy, or he gets to play with Woody and Buzz again, and all the rest. It's so obvious that it makes me wonder: are they doing another Toy Story 6, and that's already planned? So they had to do a filler one about technology. Like, it's so obvious how you end the story. It makes me think they're never going to end it.
Yeah. Well, and they seem to be back in the reincarnation phase. That number 3. I didn't think it would be as good of a movie as it was.
Well, I was going to say they did show the negative side of the toy collector with part 2, and I agree with you guys. That's the next logical step, and that's what pissed me off. Sorry about the language, but that's what upset me about the last two, was that Andy gave up his toys.
Right.
It's like we live in a society now where adults actually are bigger, figure fans than kids are. So to me, that's the next logical step here. Is like in a world where computers and all this other stuff are not, are getting the main attention away from our kids, Andy going back to find his toys makes sense to me.
In a world.
Especially considering What's-Her-Face would be getting old enough at this point to where you could just say, like, she's, doesn't care about the toys anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Daniel, the 10th member for 14. Wine Mom Gamora has a personality to curdle milk. Is there a drunk green woman on the internet that I've missed?
It's Wine Mom Nebula you have to watch out for. She'll spike everything.
I also just got to add in there, I don't ever see Woody letting Andy go. Right? Like, that's the thing is, I think even if he lets the other toys go, Woody would always stay with Andy no matter what.
Yep.
Yep.
To Neil the 10th for $2, the Bat Tom MB Angerous now.
I'm Angerous a lot. My doctor said I got to watch that. It's bad for my cholesterol.
Yep,
Wait, that's the pizza.
Fly blind on a rocket cycle for 5. Skeletor voice. Evil, now with more artificial flavor. Or are we doing the Jared Leto one? Evil, now with more artificial flavor.
I am not nice. You bumbling boob.
That's actually a really good Skeletor right there. I like that. Detail Devil for 5. TQ Townsend, why do story changes annoy us so much? Best YouTube video on how DEI Hollywood went wrong versus old school diversity. Features Batfred Flintstone.
So it's not just the stories changed, it's the full-blown inversion of what the stories were trying to tell originally, right? So Luke is not a winner. What he did was not glorious. It led to his complete lack of belief in the good of the galaxy. He turns into a hermit. Leia and Han did not do something well. They raised broken children. They became terrible parents. Han went back to being a scoundrel. And I can go through franchise after franchise where this is the lesson they want you to learn. And they want you to learn that lesson, I believe, because they are deeply unhappy older people. And they want the characters to be reflections of themselves.
I'm just distracted by Fred Flintstone dressed up as Batman. Going,
yeah,
I am the Night, Bonnie. Where are you going? That's my Batmobile.
Hey, Fred, sorry.
I'm Robin, Fred.
That's way better, yeah.
Odie Safari, I don't know. $5. Thank you very much for the super chat. Retcon the sequels, recast, do the Zahn books and on, expand the EU lore. Want a TV show? Do a Talon Card smuggling show. Talon Card from what was the name of his ship? The Luck of the Draw? I forget. Or one of the side books. Talon Card. Who is it that needed to play him? It was Lauren wanted it to be the guy from Lost that played Batman well in The Tick. All
I know is Darth Talon was the obvious way they could go, and they brought her in finally and turned her into a child as opposed to how she was depicted before because they ruin everything.
Right. Well, I can understand why Lucasfilm, if they don't like the slave Leia costume, that they're going to have a big problem with a Sith Lord or whatever you want to call her that has it going on. And
I understand. I understand, but there's a power and an allure that goes back thousands of years in the idea of the siren, and the idea of the succubus, and the idea of the femme fatale who's evil.
And she's good looking too. Siani Reese for
like
$2.
Evil Lynn?
Yes. Siani Reese for $2. I enjoyed Italy. I'm glad you did. I've never been
Italy
there.
is fantastic as well.
I bet the food was amazing.
Monaco is a really cool place to visit, but for a day, there's not much more than for a day unless you got a lot of money in Monaco.
And do they really do the race cars through the city in Monaco?
Really?
Yeah. Well, Tennille the 10th for 2. Poor Tom's been held captive by a Viking for years.
Could be worse.
He's waiting for him to turn into a blonde woman.
Luckily, he's built Fjord tough.
That's great. Samuel Main, member for 29. Can you ride Smuggler's Run without getting sick? I think possibly if I'm in the front, I could handle that. But no, they were my sons were piloting the ship, and let's just say the left and the right is one person, the up and the down is a different person, and getting two people to talk to each other to try to navigate this virtual world. Yikes!
I'm gonna date myself with this joke. The only thing you get from Smuggler's Run is Smuggler's Blues.
Bruce Newhouse.
The old guys did it.
I just sent Deputy Ricardo with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office a right hand from Amazon, $5.95. I couldn't resist.
We didn't tell you to do that, Bruce. We just heads up. We didn't tell you to do that.
I don't know who this is. John's for $5. Think his ship was called the Wild Card. That's it. Yes, it is.
Jonas was on it. Yeah.
Yep. The Lady Luck was Lando Calrissian's ship. So I knew there were a lot of card references in there. Richard Alpert. Who played Richard Alpert on Lost? I have to remember this name before we can move on.
I don't know, Jonas.
Google it.
Nestor Carbonell. Okay, Nestor Carbonell.
In the world of AI, how can we possibly find out the answer to the question?
When is Jonas going on screen? I went on screen last night and I was Valiant Renegade.
I'm convinced. I hope AI is convinced. Ask Grok now. It'll say for sure. Valiant Renegade is Jonas J. Campbell.
Exactly.
All right, Jonas, are all super chats cleared, my friend?
All super chats are read and cleared.
In that case, we go to Tom Connors. Tom, tell the folks out there where they can find you and what you're up to on this great, big, beautiful web.
You can find me at Midnight's Edge and on the YouTubes, and on X, doing stuffs. I like turtles, and I'm Bat Tom. So whatever you need, that's good. I don't know.
There you go. Whoo! Shimon!
Of course,
I'll give you a Shimon.
Don't add it for sure.
Having whole wheat. Folks, it's time for us to wrap. We want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us. Go ahead, Tom.
I just want to say, because you just said ham and whole wheat, I did watch the fat video last night, and I was reminded, I'm like, how did Weird Al miss that? It's like ham and whole wheat, all right, instead of saying on rye.
Ham and whole wheat, all
rye. Yeah.
You get the rye of the tiger. It's okay. All right,
Yeah,
folks,
that's
we want to
true.
say
That's
a
true.
huge... we want to say a huge thank you to everybody joining us today. Thank you for being so kind as we've launched into this new era of being on camera and all the things we can do. Please stay tuned. We've got more content on the way all throughout the weekend. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We've got pro shows on the way next week, too, as we cover the second week box office drop of The Mandalorian. Where will it be? We don't know, but I can tell you one thing. We'll be here covering it every single day for you. So we leave you in the same way that we do so often, folks. We remind you to keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.